North American Simulation Racing Association, featuring online leagues like the DSR Electric, Blanchard towing and recovering Xfinity, concerns of police survivors. Jacob and Wesley bringing you all the commentating. Is there beef? Is there beef? This racing is so exciting. They rock the NASCAR network. That Biggles cracking them up in the background. It is racing at Atlanta. It is racing at Talladega. Never turn right. Woo! Go, baby, go. Don't you curse tonight. As a Brady, the boss man is lessening. Oh dear, let's go racing. Coding out with all the graphics.
Are you ready?
For Murph's Magical Creations. Home to custom laser engraving and gifts. This veteran-owned and operated company engraves for all occasions. If you want one of Murph's Magical Creations, call the number on your screen or commission through either Instagram or via email. Murph's Magical Creations, made with love for you.
Of the NASCAR Blanchard's Towing Xfinity Series. Brady LaBeouf will win the championship and the race in the Butt Kicker 250.
Keith Bradley gets his second championship on the Friday Night Series for the Concerns of Police Survivors Truck Series Season 8. This rookie season, he will win the championship for the Concerns of Police Survivors Truck Series.
NASCAR 360 Racing Network welcomes you to coverage of the virtual Daytona International Speedway. And after weeks of preparations with preliminaries, it is time for the Season 5 lid lifter. For the NASCAR DSR Electric Truck Series, we welcome you to the DSR Electric 250. I'm Wesley Outland. Jacob Reeves is alongside. Bigglesteen Hopton on production. Jacob, it's the one we've been waiting for. Before we give the starting lineup, we're ready for Daytona.
Yes, sir, buddy. We have been ready for Daytona for quite some time, and obviously everybody's been talking about everything that happened at the duels last Monday night. And I'll say this, those were entertaining races. Both of them were entertaining as hell. If it's anything, if this race right here is anything like the duels was, everybody tonight is in for quite a show.
And without a further ado, it is time to take a look at the starting lineup set by qualifying 2 weeks ago and the duels last week you saw right here from Daytona. Justin White and Luke Smith will make up the front row with Cinnamon and Peacock on row 2. Harris and Thomas on row number 3. Hendrickson and Trotter row 4. The birthday boy today, Brady LaBeouf of Boss of Nazareth. He'll start 9th and Aaron Van Rydel will start 10th. Tyler Goodwin and Kerry Tribune, your first 6 rows at Daytona.
And then Roger Dibble will start in the 13th spot with Stephen Gregory in the 61 rolling off P14. Jonathan Cofield will start 15th with Cody Knight starting in 16th. Adam Newton, a guy that knows how to get it done on the super speedways, he will start 17th. Jeffrey Johnson Jr. will start 18th. Justin Lumpkin will start 19th, and Dane Hagan rounds out the top 20.
Rest of the lineup including Phil Pappas, Dan Hagan, Fred Lester, Jason Morales, Matt Cherry, J.D. Larson, your top 25. Raul Meza, Stephen Page, Joey Sires, Chad Ross, Brian Chew. Never count him out when it comes to Daytona and Nazareth Super Speedway Racing. Joshua Suss, Nate Bauer, Timothy Hammond, Robert Richards, Adam Newbert, Craig Schroeder, James Kaufman, Blanchard, Keith Haney, Ryan Kaiser, your top 40, and then it is Lucas Lyons in the back, as well as race director TJ Moore. We're ready to go here. This track, 2.5 miles in length, if you didn't know, Daytona International Speedway. It is, of course, 31 degrees of banking in the corners, 18 degrees on the start-finish line. The backstretch is 3,000 feet. We call it the super stretch. White and Smith on the front row. Season 5 of the Nazareth DSR Electric Truck Series is underway in Daytona. You have a race, a new season upon us with Smith and White on the front row. Stride for stride is Peacock and Cinnamon, and they'll carry them down into turn number 1. Funneling out, still door-to-door on the front back there, Jacob.
And everybody looking like they're going to stay just like they did, basically under pace laps. Couple of drivers, watch for them right here, entering the backstretch. Some may actually drop below that double yellow line and kick it all the way to the back, try to stay out of all the chaos. But everybody keeping it calm, cool, collected. Double wide all the way through the first 10, 15 rows. There's a little bit of 3 wide back in the back.
This race will be 250 miles, 100 laps. There will be 3 stages as they funnel their way through 3 and 4. Coming down to the tri-oval. Put 1 lap on the board. 99 to go. It's going to be Smith on the outside lane. He'll lead lap 1, but White solid hard on the inside going to 1.
And both your dual winners right behind both of these guys. Spiceman Chris Cinnamon and Taylor Peacock that knows how to get it done here at Daytona and also at Talladega. Stephen Thomas back here, he's trying to rock and roll as well with Shane Trotter back there on the outside lane. The birthday boy, the boss man, Brady LaBeouf up on the top side as well. No Lane has the main momentum. Everybody basically calm, cool, and collected right now.
Quickly, let's take a look at the bottom right of the monitor. We'll show you the stage information for tonight's DSR Electric 250. As right now, they work their way down into the corner. It is White in front. He'll lead the way. Smith and Cinnamon, Peacock right there, all in tow. No change in any of these spots now, as it's still Justin White now. The Cop entry down to the inside. Remember, the concerns of Police Survivors Truck Series, their championship Friday night at Charlotte. We'll have it for you as the lid lifter's underway for the trucks in the back straightaway on this Monday evening.
Absolutely, and one thing about the stages, you're going to see stage 1 will continue under green, and it will go all the way to lap 25. Stage 2 is going to go to 50, and we'll have a caution. And then after that, we're going to go all the way to 100, and 100 is going to be the end of it. 3 sets of tires, 85% fuel capacity, unlimited green, white checkers, Wesley. We could see a bunch of them here this evening.
Yes, sir. Right now, again, seeing what they'll do around the racetrack. That's, again, your race details. Also add on total 3 sets of tires. In addition to that, There is going to be a fuel capacity of 85%, unlimited attempts at green, white checker if need be. That's something new this year as well, Jacob. Usually it's only 3 attempts. Now it's 3 as the leaders are on the backstrap.
And Justin White, he's actually going to get clear. Now we see a little bit of 3 wide. Taylor Peacock jumps to the middle. Luke Smith's going to hang himself out to dry. Stephen Thomas going to jump on the tailgate of Taylor Peacock. Luke Smith falling through the field as Peacock trying to go after Justin White for the lead.
He'll make that move one more time again as they work their way, funneling back into the corner off of turn 4, coming down to the line. Now it's Taylor Peacock. He's out in front of the number 81. Justin White to the inside. They're going to go battling door to door. First 5-6 rows, still stride for stride as they climb the bank and go into 1.
Luke Smith still back there on the outside lane. That is the only 3 wide that we're seeing throughout the field. He is blinking a little bit, so maybe race director TJ Moore wanted Luke Smith to drop back. Maybe that blinking up there at the front. Not real cool. He's actually still blinking right now as far as from what we can see. But here goes Peacock. Gets the shove. Stephen Thomas is going to give him the shove. Will Peacock drop to the bottom? No, he will not. He won't be able to. Justin White's going to power on the inside.
And here comes White down to the inside. Look at now Cinnamon falling down on the bottom as well. Carrying also the machine of Harris to the bottom lane. LaBeouf is up to 7th. This is on board with Stephen Thomas. He's right there in that battle with Peacock. He's on the outside lane. White to the bottom. Here comes Cinnamon, and they're going to keep them side by side going into 1.
The only 3 wide battle that we have seen was Luke Smith jump to the top and let everybody go. Everybody's still in that double wide formation. Justin White on the bottom side, not leaving. Chris Cinnamon down here on the bottom side. Justin White, a member of Mission 1 Esports, over with Brady LaBeouf and Kerry Tribune and all the gang, which basically he took my own ride, Wesley. He's running in the car or in the truck that I would be racing in this season, and he's doing a fantastic job as we got a pile up in 3 and 4.
Big trouble off of turn number 3 and 4. Several trucks involved. Trucks including Luke Smith from the front row. He's collected. Raul Meza, Jason Morales, Jeffrey Johnson, Craig Schroeder, and they're still piling in from there. Lucas Lyons is in the kerfluffle. Kaiser, Lester, Johnson, Richards, all involved in a massive crash coming off of turn 4 here at the Virtual World Center of Racing on lap 6.
And that is some major net code right there between Adam Newbert in the number 4. He was
Morales.
right there with the one of Jason Morales as well. Major net code. I mean, both of those guys never touched, Wesley. Neither one of them touched. But Adam Newbert in the 4 saw a hole. He tried to shoot it up the middle, and you'll see it right here on your screen, right here live on the Nazareth 360 Racing Network. Newbert never touches Jason Morales. It looks like it, but he never touches it.
Oh, boy. Newbert did get into the left rear of the 1, but then that caused Morales to really stack up the field behind him there, Jacob. We'll watch it one more time. Watch the red truck. There's the contact. And then all of a sudden, there you see everyone else just piling from there.
Yeah, but if we could get an onboard shot right here, because I'm looking right at this right here, he never touched him. It was some serious net code I saw right here. Very serious net code. If we could get on the hood cam, you'll be able to see it of Adam Newbert. Newbert was the one that gets into Jason Morales. If we can see that, you'll see it right here. He never touches him. I mean, literally, you could fed a huge text, but look at this right here. Never touched him. No, there was a gap right there. I promise you, there was a gap, at least from what I seen on my side.
Well, nonetheless, whatever it is, there is a big stack up there. Multiple trucks are involved, and we are just getting started here in Daytona. The DSR Electric Truck Series lid lifter, the DSR 250. We're back with more in just a moment. Stay with us.
Reach up there and pull those belts tight one more time. Drivers, start your engine!
you ready?
For Murph's Magical Creations. Home to custom laser engraving and gifts. This veteran-owned and operated company engraves for all occasions. If you want one of Murph's magical creations, call the number on your screen or commission through either Instagram or via email. Murph's Magical Creations, made with love for you.
Don't forget about the Great American Sim Race right here at Daytona, the Nazareth DSR, the Nazareth 500, presented by Glass Mechanic. That'll be coming up here at the Virtual World Center of Racing. Speed Weeks, February 3rd through the 8th. Saturday night, February the 8th is when the finale will be. Oh, actually, I want to say afternoon. Jacob, remember, the race is on the duels. Remember, the duels are going to be like at 10, 11 o'clock in the morning. And then they'll have the two dual races, and then we come back later on in the afternoon and get ready for the 500. And how about the qualifying format to make that race too, Dean? And Jacob, I'm pretty excited about it, buddy.
Yeah, absolutely. I am too. I mean, there you see it right there. I mean, literally 12 qualifiers all the way from February 3rd through February the 6th. Then you got the LCQ dates on February 7th. And then obviously, like you were talking about, the duels is going to be right at 10 o'clock in the morning. And then the feature, I believe, is around 2 o'clock Eastern time, somewhere in that range on February the 8th. And we talked about this as well. There's no faster pairs out of all that. How about this right here, the Brady Bunch, I guess you could say. Look at Tim Hammond right here. Look at the steering wheel. His steering wheel, honestly, I was telling him about this earlier, and I said I was going to say it. His steering wheel kind of looks like a Fisher Price steering wheel, honestly, that you would get a kid. I'm just kidding with you, Tim, but there's the Brady Bunch right there with all of them as we're getting ready to go back green.
I love that. Wow. Side by side as they get ready to make their way back to the Geico restart zone. Still a long way to go, not only in stage one, but in the race here. 90 remaining, as a matter of fact. 91 to go as Justin White brings him back to green. He's on the inside of the racetrack. There goes Cinnamon, a former champion in this series. As a matter of fact, season 3 champion. Peacock, a regular season champion of season 3. And they're right there in the dogfight with Thomas and Trotter going to one.
Well, I'll say this. They went double wide right there at the start, and then they said, nope, not today. We'll go ahead and we'll get single file. Front 4, now front 3. Now here we go, front 2. Peacock went to the bottom, jumps up top. Trotter, Harris, they're going to rock and roll. They got the boss man right behind them, Brady LaBeouf. Peacock was going to hang in third. He wants to go for the lead off turn 4.
I think the key is here, you want to be patient. You don't want to risk messing your truck up, obviously, in the early going, as we saw a little fishtail from Trotter in the 22. And now we see drivers going from the top lane to the bottom lane. Here comes now a pack of traffic now starting to separate from a second pack, and they thunder their way back into turn 1 with Wide to the deuce in front.
And that second pack back there is probably just waiting around and just waiting for something to pop off. Some of them possibly got caught up in that big one that we just saw just a second ago that brought out the very first caution of the DSR Electric 250. But here we go, Peacock trying to get rolling up on his top side. Trotter finished third in his duel, trying to make a big deal here tonight at Daytona, but Justin White and Cinnamon, they're going to get away on the bottom.
We're broadcasting in 2K here on the Nazareth 360 Racing Network, and here comes the field funneling off of 4. Down to the trioval inside, Justin White in the lead. Peacock right there on board. This is with Shane Trotter in that Van York number 22. Cinnamon to his inside. Look at these awesome angles from up top as the field thunders through the 31 degrees of bank and now that 3,000-foot Daytona super stretch. They abort down to the back straightaway.
Boy, Trotter actually got a little loose right there coming off turn 2, actually snaking back and forth, left and right, if you will, right across the nose of the 87 of Andrew Harris, who made it to the championship 6 last season. But now everybody back in that double wide formation. Justin White with a nose ahead on Peacock.
Got a nose up in front. Here they come back down to the line. It's Peacock leading the way in the number 81 Chevrolet. Now the Toyota down to the bottom. Justin White, he will prevail. He'll stay locked to the bottom. Peacock, White, flip-flop on the scoring pylon for the lead. Cinnamon now with also Trotter in tow. Also Thomas and Harris door-to-door to one.
And like you said, Wesley, patience is key, and I think that's why we're not seeing guys go 3 wide like we've seen numerous times at the starts of like here at Talladega, where right off the rip, they would just go ahead and pop it 3 wide and hold it and let her eat. Right now, everybody, like you said, patience. Want to try to get that very first win of the season and get the season off to a good start.
And right now, on board, look at Andrew Harris, the big goggle. The big goggle eyes of Andrew Harris working through the tri-oval, back across the line. Remember, as we mentioned, stage number 1 will end at lap 25. There's about 10 or so laps left in it. And here comes the field now, working off the 2 to the back straightaway. Great action here in Daytona in the opening 15 laps. And right now, patience is key to be here at the end of the race, Jacob.
Absolutely, and Cinnamon was on the bottom side, saw a hole, jumps up right in front of Taylor Peacock. He wants to try to lead this outside trade. Justin White still on the bottom. Thomas down there with him. As now Cole Hendrickson, who started 7th, he's all the way up to 4th. Biggest mover in the field, started dead last. That's Keith Haney in the top 15.
Yeah, watching that number 87 of Keith Haney working now up through the field. He has now climbed as we watch him now in the top 15. Everyone right there, stride for stride in the pack. Funneling down into turn number 1, up at 31 degrees of bank, and it's Chris Cinnamon on the outside lane. He leads them. It's White to the bottom. They are still door to door as they thunder off 2.
Justin White still down on the bottom side, has not wanted to jump up and put the block on Cinnamon. He is very content to run right up against the double yellow line. And folks, you cannot pass down there. If you do advance your position, you will get a black flag from race director TJ Moore. Cinnamon had a nose out ahead. Here comes Justin White back down on the inside.
He had a nose out just a little bit. I don't know how long it's going to last as White still powers back on the inside thanks to the over 30 plus that are watching right now on the NASRA 360 Racing Network. Here they come down to the line and back into turn number 1. Don't forget to subscribe and like. We're already at close to over 800 subscribers. We'd love for you to make us and join us in making it 900. Thank you so much as we've got a great season in store. Auto Club next week, but we got to get through Daytona tonight as they're on the back straightaway.
And Cinnamon was able to get clear, and he elected to jump down in front of Justin White. So take the Spice Man to the lead, but look at the chaos back there in the back. As you see Cinnamon, he's got the lead. Justin White goes to 2nd, Thomas to 3rd, Peacock to 4th, and off turn, oh, big slide right there as Peacock goes on the outside.
Somehow they held it together as Peacock did make a move up on the top. Had some company with the help. Van Rattle now into the top 5 as well. Here comes that 44 Thomas on the bottom. And now the Spice Man from old Canada, Chris Cinnamon to the lead as they go into turn number 2.
And how about O'Carey Tribute right back there? Haven't talked about him. Started 12th. He is up to 7th. And how about Cole Larson, folks? The kid, Cole the Kid Larson. Started in the back, had that EOL that got DQ'd in his dual race when he got into Taylor Peacock. He started all the way back in the back. Guess what? He's in the top 10.
And here he comes, working now off of turn 4. All these trucks right here in a pack. Hey, something we haven't done until tonight. We're going to pause, rest our voices. Let's crank it up as you hear the thunder, the roar, the rumble of the NASRA DSR trucks going into turn 1 in Daytona. Cross the line, another lap in, and time is also closing on the end of stage number 1 here in the DSR Electric 250. As right now, Peacock shows the lead. They're getting a little antsy though behind them. We're second on back, Jacob, as they thunder off 2.
Yeah, they might have heard me a minute ago talking about that double wide formation, but they finally said, you know what, screw it. Let's take it 3 wide. Let's see what happens. Lucas Lyons was the one that jumped up to the top side, and he got straight up hung out. Everybody trying to go by him. LaBeouf looked to the outside. Adam Newbert up here in the 4, trying to get up there. The inaugural champion here on the Monday Night Series, he's trying to charge to the front.
And right now, look at him. Whoa, hold on. A little wiggle and a jiggle and a giggle and a bubble. Hold on to it, buddy, as he does. What a save. That could have been disastrous for that orange truck right there, as he is starting to free fall back. Hold on to him, and he does, as they work back into 1 and 2.
And that was Aaron Van Rysel right there. He got very loose right there off of 4. Maybe he had a bad bump. It might have knocked him up the hill. Lucas Lyons actually back there. He gets tagged and gets set up into the fence as well. They're catching a lap truck. This is going to get good. Jason Morales all the way up at the top. They're already looking 3 wide. Wesley, we might be in for some trouble. Everybody trying to dive down to the inside. Just enough room to get by him.
As Jason Morales up on the outside up against the safer barrier as they work their way again off of turn 4. Here they come down to the line. It is now Peacock in the lead. Peacock up in front. He is the man that stays in the top spot behind them here. We watch all these other guys battle. What a show they're putting on. Peacock, Cinnamon, White, Thomas, and now Tribune and Thomas battle for 4th and 5th as we narrow in on 5 to go in stage 1 in Daytona.
And Jonathan Cofield up here, as well as Adam Newton, LaBeouf up here with Phil Pappas up here. And don't forget about Cole Larson. Here we go, that little 3 wide. Van Rada and Newbert, they're going to door bang. Newbert goes from LaBeouf. He's on his lid. LaBeouf's caught up in it. Half the field piled up in 3 and 4. Caution is out.
Big trouble again between turn number 3 and 4. Van Rattle and another of Umber trucks. It's also Adam Newbert, the inaugural series champion from 4 years ago. He's on his lid. Big wreck. Trouble again. A multi-truck crash in turn number 3. We go back to Jacob in turn number 4.
A little bit of a stack up that happened. I believe that was Stephen Thomas that tried to jump up. Saw the outside lane was coming with LaBeouf and Newbert. And then Van Rada just kind of he just kind of didn't hit the brakes hard enough. We'll have to back it up before they even got into turn 3, because that's where you're going to see the huge stack up. And see Newbert right here. Both of them start door banging. Thomas jumps up. Van Rada right there in the middle. He comes up. Newbert comes down a little bit. More Van Rada coming up than Newbert coming down. And then it just knocked him sideways and then head on into the wall. Goes Adam Newbert. Brady LaBeouf gets involved. You see Cole Larson back there. I think I saw the 971 of Nate Maurer was a driver that got involved, and others just trying to slide through it and just hoping that they don't get tagged right there. The 33, Jeffrey Johnson Jr., Robbie Richards just parks it right there. He don't want to touch it. Here's my pick right here, Wesley. If you listen to the door banging download, last night or early this morning when the episode come out, I had Brian Chew, and Nate Maurer
did you see
all the way through him. Holy hell. Wow.
The 971 flying through the air. We're just catching different camera angles of this massive crash. Is that Nate Maurer? That's Nate Maurer,
Yes.
our buddy out of Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Watch this.
That is an ARCA brake. That's got to be an ARCA brake right there for Nate Maurer. Something
Let's back it up and
amiss.
listen to this in real time. Somebody slammed into the 971. Listen to this. Here he comes.
Whoa.
Crashing, flying through the air. Pennsylvania's Nate Maurer. Another big crash. Drivers involved included Adam Newbert, Brian Chew, Fred Lester, Jeffrey Johnson, Robert Richards, Justin Lumpkin, Craig Schroeder, and also add Mr. Nate Maurer. We'll take a break. You see the massive crash just happened here again between 3 and 4. Another multi-truck flashback of what happened in the start of things. And I got a feeling this might possibly end also. Stage 1, we'll find out in a moment. Back from Daytona next.
you ready?
For Murph's Magical Creations. Home to custom laser engraving and gifts. This veteran-owned and operated company engraves for all occasions. If you want one of Murph's Magical Creations, call the number on your screen or commission through either Instagram or via email. Murph's Magical Creations, made with love for you.
We're back here at Daytona, and we roll along here after another multi-truck accident. Folks, I apologize. I'm understanding we're having some audio issues on my end. I can't figure out what it is. If you people can't hear me or you can't understand me, please comment in the chat box or whatnot. But anyhow, we'll continue on. Wesley Outland, Jacob Reeves alongside. And I got a feeling they're going to do at least one lap to end stage one. Jacob, is that what we're being told?
I'm not 100%, but I know that it was going to continue under green as from what I understood. So that's what I was understanding, is that stage one was going to continue under green. So they might have actually called it right there. I'm not 100%, but if they did, it was the Spice Man.
It would be the Spice Man, Chris Cinnamon, that got it done. Yeah, you're looking at the information from the duels last week, Dean. That's the race info for the duels last week. If you go to hashtag race details, it's got the details for tonight. It was posted this afternoon. Lap 50 is where we're shooting for in stage two. My question though, Jacob, is are they going to come to the line and take the Serve Pro caution for the end of the first stage, or are we going to race on? The survey says as they come to the flag at the end of stage one, yes, we race on. This is stage two. This will go to lap 50.
Yes, sir. The stage two presented by the Glass Mechanic, and Justin White jumps out. He is going to hang himself out to dry. He may think about wanting to try to jump to the back. Kerry Tribune right behind him. Jonathan Cofield in the 58. He's up here trying to rock and roll. He's got his teammate Lucas Lyons right on his tailgate. How about Brian Kaiser? Started dead last, literally in the field. I was saying somebody started dead last with Keith Haney. No, Kaiser was dead last. 43rd out of all of them. 42nd, if you want to call it that. He is all the way up here inside the top 10.
Hopefully our technical issues have been fixed. We've been working on some things behind the scenes. And there it is. You're caught up a lot better now with the details and the information of what's to go. Stage two, lap 50. This will take us to halfway. Jacob, your take of the first quarter of the DSR 250 at Daytona for Season 5's opener.
Well, I mean, if you love demolition derbies, you pretty much got it right there. I mean, you got a lot of guys had their stuff tore up pretty much, but that's what we're going to see with a 42-truck field.
Right.
Wesley, we see it every single time for the season openers in the Friday night series, the Monday night series, Tuesday, whatever, even Wednesday now with the NASRA Cup series. With these big fields that we have here at Daytona for the season openers, you always see the big one, but still a very good stage one.
A very good stage one. Things were definitely calm, cool, collected, if you will, and right now we'll see what happens for stage number 2 here in Daytona. It is now the Spice Man, Chris Cinnamon. He is up in front. He leads the way Alabama's Jonathan Cofield now going to the outside. Peacock on the bottom. Here comes Lions, and they're going to battle again for that spot in 2.
And the bottom side, Spiceman is going to try to get away. Peacock down here on the bottom as well. And we'll see how this ends up working out. Spiceman trying to rock and roll. Here we go with Peacock on the bottom side. Cofield's going to get a run. He's going to have Lions. They're going to get a run, but they're not going to be able to get to the door of Cinnamon. Cinnamon still has the lead in 3 and 4.
Cinnamon still staying in that line, working now off of 3 and 4. Here he comes down to the line, looking inside, looking outside. Cinnamon, Cofield, Peacock, Lions, Thomas, there's your top 5. That's the way it stands. They'll work their way back in the perfect formation like they were at pace car speed at full song, going back into turn number 1.
The only thing that's really changing, Wesley, is guys maybe jumping from the top lane to the bottom lane or the bottom lane to the top lane and trying to figure out which lane is going to help them advance throughout the field. Nobody really sticking it 3 wide. I think everybody might have saw the 3 wide that happened earlier on. What can happen is that you end up having about a 12-truck pileup. So I think everybody don't want that right now. We still got 71 coming this time around. Everybody calm right now.
Everybody definitely being patient, and that's exactly what you need to do as they funnel through the tri-oval here now. Put another lap on the board, heading towards lap number 30. About 20 laps left to go here. Right now, also heading into sunset. That's another thing we need to think about as we have another caution on the racetrack. Caution out for the 3rd time as we've got another incident. Diebold, Brian Chu, Raul Meza, one of your picks again, in trouble off of turn number 2, and they're on the apron of the grass.
And honestly, from what I'm seeing, it looks like this is going to be the Phil Pappas and the 88 from what I'm seeing. And Tim Hammond, 9 laps down, trying to look to the outside, but it was Phil Pappas that gets turned coming out of the tri-oval. Phil Pappas in the 88 truck. And the 88 number 88 Chevrolet, see it right here. Hammond looks to the outside. At least this is what I'm seeing, because, I mean, there was a bunch of guys scattering going to the inside. You see Pappas get sideways, come up, hit the wall. No, it was behind them. You had one up in the air. Wow. I missed that one right there. There was somebody that almost went over, and it looks like it was Roger Diebold. Oh, goodness. All 4 tires coming off the ground. And unfortunately for Mr. Diebold, he may end up having a meatball flag after that one.
Wow. Another look at it again. I mean, just, Jacob, do you feel like it's too early for this type of racing, maybe?
Well, I mean, the whole deal right there with Diebold right there, I mean, I think everybody was just trying to miss the wreck. I mean, Hammond comes up. I'm not 100% why Hammond's going 3 wide right there. He clips Pappas, and then Harris is not knowing that Diebold's going to check up, hits him in the tailgate, sends him around. It's just, I mean, it's just one of those things. I mean, that's super speedway racing, basically. That's what that was right there. Now, I don't know about the Pappas-Hammond deal, but the whole deal with Diebold and Harris, Diebold checks up, and Wesley, I've talked about it numerous times in these trucks. It's hard to see what's going on in front of you unless it's your teammate that's checking up right in front of you. So that's just something typical right there that we're seeing right there for these super speedways.
Another caution flag here at Daytona. Will we see trucks come down to pit lane? No, we will not. We will step away, though. More from Daytona in a bit.
Reach up there and pull those belts tight one more time. Drivers, start your engine!
And folks, we're back here at Daytona. Getting ready to rock and roll. Sediment, Cofield, Peacock, Lyons, and Kaiser top 5. Folks, we may be having a little bit of technical difficulties up here in the broadcast booth, but there you see Peacock right there trying to keep it down on the apron. Thomas down there as well. There's Kaiser right there in the 07, mind you, like I was talking about, started back there in the back. Peacock up there, he was the winner of duel number 2. Sediment was the winner of duel number 1. And dual winners staying up here at the front right now, folks. Wesley, I think both of these guys right here, we're going to be watching these guys.
Yeah, guys, I don't know what's going on here. I can't figure it out. I stepped away to try to see if I could work whatever's going on my end. I don't know. I'm not a fan of Discord. Y'all know that. But anyhow, we continue on, and we'll try to work on things behind the scenes. Yeah, I got a damn beat for Discord and the sound, I guess. I don't know. But nonetheless, we'll continue along here and get ready for the race. And all right, let's set up a restart for you. It's not over yet, Jacob. Obviously, we've seen guys get in accidents, and you know, I kind of made the question: is this too early? Is this too early to be racing like this? Do you think?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think it really is. You know, a little bit too early maybe for some of the 3 wide. But the thing is, Wesley, you look back at past races, like Talladega. I mean, obviously Talladega, it's a lot wider. Obviously, you can run 4 wide at Talladega, and you can easily run 3 wide there. Daytona, not as wide, but still, we've seen them do 3 wide here at Daytona and have no problem doing it. I think what this is this is simple right here. This is the season opener. That's how it is. You got new guys coming in, old veterans that have been around for a long time. Everybody's still trying to work out those kinks. Granted, you know, I was talking to Robbie Richards before the race started, and he, you know, I was like, wow, you know, good to be back. Y'all haven't changed. And he's like, yeah, dude, it's only been 3 weeks. Well, 3 weeks, time can change a lot of stuff. So as far as, you know, doing the regular season and everything else. So new guys coming in, old veterans right there, everybody trying to find a good mixture with everybody. That's basically what I'm seeing out of all this.
No, I think you're exactly right, and obviously we'll see what transpires as we'll get ready to go back for a restart here. Still a long way to go in this one. We haven't even got to the halfway mark yet of this race. Again, is Phil getting ready to come back to the restart zone as the pace car or pace truck should be coming down onto the pit lane. We're going to lap number 50. Lap 50, pace truck in, field back in that Geico restart zone as the green flag flies. This, by the way, again, is Glass Mechanic Stage 2, and we're back to it again with Cinnamon on the great launch on the inside here in Daytona, back into turn 1.
And front 5 actually is going to break away just a little bit from everybody else. Now everybody else trying to see if they can close the gap. On the top side, Jonathan Cofield, Lucas Lyons trying to rock and roll. The veterans on the bottom side of Spiceman, Chris Cinnamon, Taylor Peacock, and Stephen Thomas, and Brian Kaiser, unknown journeyman, I guess you could say, coming in to tonight. And now here he is. And how about this? 9 truck. Blanchard, one of the championship 6 for Friday, will be running at Charlotte. He's up here now.
Working off of turn 4, coming down to the line, side by side. Cinnamon, Cofield. There you got Canada and Alabama right there alongside one another. And behind them, Lyons and Peacock. And then Newton and Thomas. Shuffle, shake, rattle, roll into 2. It's the Cinnamon on the inside as Cofield got a little shove there on the outside lane by Lyons. 2 53s on the racetrack, by the way, the 53 and the 58.
And those 7's actually going to drop to the back. You see him right there blinking on your screen. Race director TJ Moore probably told him to back it on up and get out of all the chaos. But here you go. You got Alabama. You got Canada. 2 different ends of North America rocking and rolling here at Daytona. Cofield gets loose off 4.
A big bobble by the 58. let him correct, as so did Lyons, shuffle and say, okay, I got you. And now watch the 19. Here comes the Bulldog, Adam Newton. From Rougemont, Roxborough, North Carolina, up on the outside lane. They're going to go door-to-door plan. Cinnamon on the inside.
Cinnamon trying to keep it going. Cofield trying to get lines to work with him. Newton right behind him as well. And like I mentioned a while ago, I was talking about Chris Blanchard. Watch out for him. He knows how to get it done on the super speedways. The 9 truck, 4 truck in line on the bottom. Cinnamon by nose. Now Peacock and Cofield go for second.
Put another lap on the board. Here comes the field down to the line through the trioval. Inside, there's Cinnamon. Look at Cofield with help by Lyons, but not Newton on the outside. We started to see, Jacob, a formation of possibly that third line coming to work, but then it dissolved when the accident happened. Could we see them get back into that third, fourth lane again right now as they work the back straightaway? Well, we got one spinning down to the bottom of the grass to the infield. Turn 2, spinner.
Spinner back there in the field, but no caution as of right now here. Maybe it was the 24 to the 34, one of those. But up front, Cinnamon, Cofield, Cinnamon gets a huge shove. Peacock's going to shove him. Front 2 gets cleared.
Trying to get confirmation on who that driver was that spun down on the infield grass at the bottom of the racetrack, and I think we've got it right now. The 33, there's the contact. Jeffrey Johnson, the third, banging into Harris in the 87. And there you see the inside lane. There you see the bottom of the apron, and that's the end result when the 33 spun. It did not draw a Surf Pro caution, and they're racing on the back stretch of that truck's a memory as they hit 2.
Yeah, and there was probably a little bit of beef right there, honestly. Harris got into Jeffrey Johnson, sent him up the racetrack, and then Johnson bounced off the wall, hooked the hard left and came back and doored him. Yes, sir. We got a little bit of beef right there between both of those drivers, but here we go. Cinnamon, Cofield, just going at it like a bad habit right now off turn 4.
And here they come again, working now through the trioval. Back to start finish on the inside. We'll give the lead again to Cinnamon, the Spice Man. We're narrowing in on 10 to go in stage 2. This third stage is where the rubber meets the road and things get virtually hairy. Don't forget, coming up February the 3rd through the 8th, the Great American Sim Race, the NASRA 500, presented by Glass Mechanicus, pushed out of line this page. He gets spun to the bottom of the apron. We'll give you the details in just a moment, but the 47 now out of the dance as he goes down to the bottom of the apron. Will still stay green in turn 3.
Yeah, bad bump draft gone wrong right there on the inside lane, trying to look and see exactly who it was that ended up tagging him, and it was the 80 of Joshua Suss. But up front, Cinnamon trying to hold off Cofield on this outside lane. Cofield almost has the lead at the line.
They'll try to go for that lead. They'll try to make a move on that spot. They work their way now side by side. Alabama's Auburn man, War Eagle on the outside lane. Here comes Jonathan Cofield. He's going to carry Peacock with him. Peacock now shuffles to the bottom. He'll stay behind the rear deck lid of the tailgate and Cinnamon the leader. And now Cofield's by himself to the outside to get a burst of momentum.
How about the veterans on the bottom side showing, I guess you could say, the rookies up on the top side, how to get it done, but the rookies still going after them. Don't count out both of these rookies. Very, very highly touted drivers with Cofield and Lyons, and they're showing it here tonight at Daytona.
And they really are right now. Put another lap on the board as here they come now, working through the trioval. Another lap on the board. It is Cinnamon in the lead. Chris Cinnamon up front. Cofield in second. Peacock third. Look at this racing going on in the back of the pack. That's Stephen Gregory, I believe. And lap traffic for Murphy boy. Brady LaBeouf hung out to try, working through the corner as they hit the back straightaway.
Yeah, and the boss man probably already went to the liquor cabinet because he is 9 laps down and probably already hitting some Jack Daniels, Jim Beam, whichever one you want to call it. But here we go. Cofield still up here battling it out right here with 10 coming to 9 to go this time by here in stage 2, presented by the Glass Mechanic. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button, all 34 of you out there in the live chat.
And don't forget, we're going to be at Auto Club Speedway next week as well, as this is the lid lifter for season number 5. Don't forget, every Monday through Friday, we're working on something for Thursday. We've got you covered on the NASRA 360 Racing Network. Tomorrow night, we've got action, of course, with the NASRA Blanchard Show and Xfinity Series. Their playoffs are on the horizon, as well as the Cup Series. All of this going on in the championship of Season 9, where it all started Friday night in Charlotte. The leaders on the back straightaway.
That will be an awesome scene to see how that works out. Obviously, my pick out of all of it was MDW to win it all. Matthew David Wood, you want to see it this Friday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. You don't want to miss it, Charlotte Motor Speedway. But right here, the crown jewel of the DSR Electric Cup Series. Cinnamon still with the lead. Cofield still wanting to get it.
And look at Cofield now on the outside lane, trying to make something work on Cinnamon. That's the passenger side of the number 3. Look at these awesome camera angles as they funnel, shuffle down into turn number 1 off that 31 degrees of banking, heading to the 18 degrees on the super stretch here at Daytona. That long 3,000-foot back straightaway. Inside Cinnamon. In behind him is Peacock and Thomas. On the outside lane is Cofield. Cofield gets a shove from Lyons. And Newton is trying to get into that battle as her side-by-side on the slide draft in 3.
Still double file all the way through the field. Nobody wanting to get 3 wide. You got to go all the way back to around the 24th, 25th, maybe even 20th in that area to where they actually start to get back single file formation. Now here we go. Up here at the front, little 3 wide. Kerry Tribune with Justin White to the outside. They find a hole, and Cherry's going to go with them. We're going to go 3 wide for second. Tribune up top. Cofield in the middle, and also Cinnamon down there on the bottom side. Big moves all over the place. Is that a 3 wide for the lead?
Still a 3 wide shuffle now. A do-si-do becomes a trio of multiple lanes, trying to mislap traffic as well on the bottom of the apron. Double yellow line inside. It is Cinnamon. He gives a push from Cofield. Excuse me, up the middle comes Lucas Lyons. He's now going to be the monkey in the middle as they're getting antsy all 4. Somehow they hold it together. And it's Cinnamon now getting back in a single formation as they bypass Kerry Tribune on the outside lane, going to 1. 5 to go in stage 2.
Newton got into Justin White, knocked him sideways, but he was able to save it. Matt Cherry, great job out of the 54 to lift and not end up running him over and causing another big one. But now that 3 wide has turned straight back into 2 wide. Cofield still up on the top. Literally everybody right back where they was before they went 3 wide. Cofield was actually on the bottom, and now he's back up top of wides. Newton's up here as well, but Captain, check it out. Cole Hendrickson back there in the 10. He's got Chad Ross trying to rock and roll with him, as well as Kerry Tribune.
You up a little Creedence Clearwater Revival on a full moon in the Carolinas. I sense a bad mood on the rise. 4 laps to go. Cinnamon now to the inside. Cofield to the outside. Peacock and Lyons, they're all strike for strike, door to door, single file going into 1.
Cole Henderson's trying to be the fortunate son to try to go around the outside, but he has absolutely no help. Everybody going right by him. Is that Jason Morales? Yes, it is. Right up here, Jason Morales trying to go with Hendrickson, but Justin White's up there. Now here we go. Lyons looks to the outside. He's going to jump up. Kerry Tribune's going to try to go to him. Teammates getting broke up as Newton's going to go with Cofield as Cinnamon still has the lead.
Nightfall approaching, halfway approaching, end of stage 2, presented by Glass Mechanic. Just less than 3 laps to go. Monkey in the middle now. Newton. Cofield's trying to get something started on the outside lane. Now he's shuffled to the middle lane. As Lucas Lyons up high. Here comes the Bluegrass man from Owensboro to the outside. Looking for the lead on Cinnamon. You can't get there in 1.
And big shot right there by Kerry Tribune. Damn near knocks him sideways, but it's going to pay off for him. Coming down the back chute. 3 wide. Going down the super stretch to end it here in stage 2, presented by the Glass Mechanics. Cinnamon on the bottom. Cofield in the middle. Lyons up top. Kerry Tribune. 3 wide almost all the way through the whole field. 3 wide through 3 and 4. This is what we was waiting on, Wes.
Coming down to the line, look at them, 3 by 3 by 3 by 3 by 3 by 3 again. Here they come, 2 laps to go. Lyons now from the outside lane up on the top shelf where Grandma hides Valentine's candy from Grandpa as February approaches. Down into turn number 1 and 2, he's got the lead as they go into the corner.
Oh, boy, this right here, this is when I literally say these old boys are getting after it, and also when all hell ends up breaking loose. And yeah, why not? We got some lap traffic right up here in front of them. They're literally too wide. One of them on the bottom side, that's Roger Diebold, and up ahead of them, you got Brian Kaiser all the way up on the top side. Now everybody starts to scatter. Sediment, he's going to try to get away with the lead. Cofield and Newton, they're going to fight hard off turn 4.
Working down here into turn 4. A little shuffle. There goes Peacock. He got shoved out of line. Lap machine up ahead. He'll dart to the double yellow line and get out of harm's way. Final lap to go here in Podium, and we're back in trouble. There goes Justin White. The 54 Lions is around. He barrel rolls Matt Cherry down the front straightaway. More trucks crashing, and the caution is out. With 2 to go, you're seeing the camera angle of Matt Cherry, how he's trying to get back and turn things around up in the air. All of our cautions so far tonight, in some shape or form, have caused trucks to fly through the air, Jacob Reeves, and we're not done yet. Here's another one as they went into turn 1 on the final lap of stage 2. This should end the second stage, by the way.
It absolutely will. And there you see Matt Cherry right here. Looks like he's actually going to take a shot and go to the inside. He actually tags Justin White, sends him around. Justin White keeps it on the ground. Cherry does not, barrel rolls, and then everybody piling in, going through 3 and 4. And, you know, Wesley, I agree with you 100%. Every single wreck that we've had has had somebody going over on the lid. You certainly don't want to see that in real life because that's when injuries and all that can occur. But sim racing, oh, it's entertainment, baby. We love this right here. Riding on board with Cherry. Gets into White. Hate to see Cherry end up getting involved. But then watch this. Well, you barely can't see it right there because the camera about got took out. Cherry may be okay. He's got maybe a little bit of dinged up right there on the tailgate, but he just rolled over and nobody T-boned him. So Cherry may be okay right here, Wes.
This should end stage number 2. Here's a look at it again on board with Tyler Goodwin. There's Justin White right into him.
Ooh.
And there you see Goodwin going around. Let's pick up the 54, Jacob. Dean Hopton in production. Matt Cherry. Find the Toyota number 54, Matt Cherry. And there you see again from another angle. Watch the 54 of Matt Cherry again going airborne. Look at this. Jacob, what is causing this? What is causing these trucks to get so easily in the air?
I'm thinking, I mean, I'm not 100% right here. I mean, you know, really, I think it's just really the air that's coming up from behind out of the truck because the truck is jacked up a little bit. Obviously, in the back end, that's just how it is. But, you know, you don't really see, well, I'll tell you what, you don't see any roof flaps deploying right here. I mean, I've never seen a roof flap deploy on sim racing, so maybe that's something iRacing might want to try to implement to try to throw in some kind of roof flap graphic that they can pop that up. Yeah, because that obviously that would probably help it out just a little bit. Some kind of code in their system or whatever. Hell, I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to get too technical with that. But you do have pit stops right here. Obviously, stage 2 is complete. And I believe the stage 2 winner is Jonathan Cofield.
And while we're doing that, let's see if we can try to grab, because we had some audio issues. I think we're doing better now on that, Ian. I think we are. Let's try to see if we can grab Chris Cinnamon, the Spice Man, Jacob Reeves, and Jonathan Cofield. We'll knock out these interviews very quickly as stage winners and get their thoughts on things. I'll grab Chris Cinnamon first. You grab Cofield, Jacob. And Chris, it's the broadcast booth, man. Old Canada looking good in the 3, sir. I know you're ready to try to go after that second championship. Last year wasn't the best of years for you. What's your take of this race so far tonight in Daytona, being up in the front?
No, so far so good. That number 3 Chevy's, she's fast. I got huge help from Peacock behind me there. He's a great pusher too, and the up front team, like always, were strong. So looking forward to it. I got a little delayed there. As the lights went down, my graphics started glitching a bit, so I toned a couple of things down there on the pit stop. Lost some spots here, but still a long race, so we'll be back up there before we know it.
Chris, what do you attest the truck getting in the airborne so easily? What is the call in that you feel?
Sorry, say that one more time?
I said, what do you attest the reason why the trucks and all the cautions we've had so far are easily getting into the air, why they're getting airborne so easily flipping?
That's a good question. Not sound cocky, but I haven't seen them because I've been up front. But
He's up front.
you know what? They did an update a while back. I think last year. Yeah, 6 months ago. I've had it happen to me a couple times. The aero flip, and it's actually awesome from the driver's seat. I love it when it happens, but only in practice.
There you go. All right, thanks for your time, Chris. We appreciate you, bud. Chris Cinnamon, the Spice Man, Stage 1 winner. He's going to restart in the 8th position. Stage 2 winner was Jonathan Cofield from Alabama, the driver of the number 58 machine. He's in 3rd for the restart. He's standing by with Jacob Reeves.
Absolutely. Jonathan Cofield up here. Congratulations on your Stage 2 win, buddy. Tell us about your race out there because, you know, when it gets too wide, everything's calm, cool, collected. But it seems like when everybody gets 3 wide, it's like all hell ends up breaking loose.
Yeah, it's been pretty good. Everybody's giving a good bit of room, doing a little side drafting. Got my man, you know, we ain't on the same team, but got my man Lucas behind me, you know. The bottom line seems a lot stronger than it used to with the trucks. Usually the top line was pretty dominant, so I don't know. We'll see how this goes. Just trying to get a little practice in for the NASRA 500.
Oh, yeah, baby. We're ready for that one right there. What's it going to take to win here tonight and lock yourself into the playoffs, buddy?
Just good luck. I mean, heck, I was running 3rd in the duel and got crashed on with 5 laps to go. Just maybe everybody can control them nervous fingers and hands coming to the end.
All right, buddy. But Jonathan, appreciate your time and good luck, buddy.
Appreciate Glass Mechanic for sponsoring the second round there.
That's right. And speaking of the Glass Mechanic, they will also be sponsoring the NASRA 500. Mr. Dean, if you want to throw it back up again, there it is. You just saw the graphic a moment ago. The Great American Sim Race presented by Glass Mechanic. It is the NASRA 500. This is formerly what was known as the Podium 500. Podium Esports no longer around. They are dormant, and we have picked up the big race. We've already got over 100 drivers. We need to fix that graphic signed up. You need to sign up as well. February 3rd through the 8th. And again, Jacob, the other night I found myself looking at the format. I'm liking it. 3 nights of qualifying races, three nights of qualifying 30 lappers, and then the last chance races, and then the duels, and then the big race on Saturday afternoon. Got to find all the details at NASRA-racing.com. We move into the 3rd and final stage at Daytona. I'm Wesley. Jacob Reeves are coming your way into 1.
And Brian Chew up here at the front. How about you? My pick. I hope I didn't jinx him. But Cofield tried to get up here and rock and roll as well. This is the big one. This is the stage where it pays every bit of it. And we'll see what happens. Lyons goes to the top. Nobody went with him. And he is going to have to wait on Taylor Peacock to get there. Brian Chew, my pick, knows how to get it done. Won here 2 seasons ago for the season opener. He's leading off 4.
Never count out Brian Chew. This guy is really good, and we have another Surf Pro caution just as fast as we got back racing. It is Van Rattle. Aaron Van Rattle, the driver from the land of Lincoln, in trouble. The 44 machine has crashed, and we go under the yellow flag again. It's the 6th caution of the race, and ironically, Jacob Reeves, it's the first time we've had a single car accident.
Yeah, and this is kind of weird to see kind of what happens right here with Van Rattle right here. I mean, he comes right here through 3 and 4 and just snaps loose, something you usually don't see a lot of, but from what I was understanding from Keith Bradley, gets nailed, and then bam, right there, he gets nailed again. That's Phil Pappas in the 88. Nowhere for him to go. Keith Bradley told me something, I believe it was yesterday, told me some things about some of these trucks and with this new damage model that came out with these trucks. Is that the damage on these things, because see, I don't race in these things anymore, but with the damage model and everything, these trucks, when they get damaged to a certain extent, they actually get loose. And that's why we saw a lot of that from the Friday night Concerns of Police Survivors Truck Series at the fairgrounds. So maybe that's what happened right there with Van Rada, that maybe his trucks got that much damage and it just snapped loose on you, because it's very it's very, very rare to see somebody just spin all by themselves here at Daytona or Talladega, or either one of them. But I'll say this, I mean, whatever damage he had, he's got a hell of a lot more right now.
And another caution coming out here, as again the yellow flag is out. We're going to step away. We'll take a break. We'll thank our sponsors as always. The 3rd final stage in Daytona is underway. We're back with more in just a moment.
for Murph's Magical Creations, home to custom laser engraving and gifts. This veteran-owned and operated company engraves for all occasions. If you want one of Murph's Magical Creations, call the number on your screen or commission through either Instagram or via email. Murph's Magical Creations, made with love for you.
We're back here at Daytona, and Jacob Reeves, we are in stage number 3. This is the finish of the race I think we've all been anticipating, and definitely this has been a interesting NASRA DSR Electric 250 at Daytona. Sometimes they're quiet. Sometimes they are, get to that third and final stage. Then the NASRA chaos begins, as our former NASRA colleague Stephen Bartley used to call it. But right now, it's been chaotic all 100 miles.
Yeah, I mean, it really has. And, not honestly, I mean, that's common, to be honest with you, to really see that. Like I was talking about the very first race of the season, you got veterans, you got rookies, guys that might be coming back that's been out for a while, like Adam Newbert. And I'm not trying to take a shot at Adam Newbert or nothing. Because we got, what is that, Brady LaBeouf? No, excuse me, Stephen Gregory. He had it parked out there on the apron. I was kind of figuring out what he was doing right there. But, I mean, that's normal for us to see something like that right here at the start, especially here at Daytona and everything. And, of course, everybody wants to win at Daytona. I mean, you get a win at Daytona even in a sim race or in a league or even in a damn hosted race. You can literally sit there and hang it on your hat and sit there and say, yes, I won at Daytona, because this place is very historic, Wesley. You know a lot about that.
Oh, yeah. Let's set it up for you for the restart with now Brian Chu, Jonathan Cofield. By the way, he was the Glass Mechanic Stage 2 winner. Chris Cinnamon back in 7th was Stage 1 winner. Newton Lyons, Smith Peacock, Cinnamon as I aforementioned, Meza Larson, and Morella's your top 10. Green flag back out as they roll through the Geico restart zone, and we're back to it again here in Daytona. Closing in on the finish of this race with 44 laps to go. They're in turn 1.
And Brian Chu still down on the inside. Newton trying to roll with him. How about this? Cofield and Lyons. I thought they were teammates. They've been teammates for quite some time, but apparently not. Cofield rocking and rolling with Highline Racing, and Lucas Lyons rolling with Dragon Racing Esports over with Cody Dodd. And how about this? Maybe they're trying to team up anyway. They don't care. They might be right on different teams, but they do not care. They're going to try to work together and show everybody just how good they are. And Peacock, Cinnamon right behind them, but Chu and Newton on the inside off 4.
Don't forget to subscribe and like on the NASRA 360 Racing Network. This is just the first race of many in the Season 5 of the NASRA DSR Electric Truck Series. Don't forget tomorrow night, NASRA Blanchardstown and Xfinity, the NASRA Cup Series as well, all coming up. And the finale for Season 9 of the NASRA Truck will be at Charlotte. We'll have it for you. Right now, leader is Cofield in the front on turn 2.
Big move right there as Cofield actually jumped down to the bottom side. He's going to leave Lucas Lyons up top. And Peacock, very aggressive pusher that we've seen numerous times, and he is going to be very aggressive with F53's tailgate. He's going to shove him all the way up to the door. But now Cofield down on the inside. Chu's going to give him the shove. Cofield, Chu all by themselves, but here comes Lyons.
And here comes Lyons, ready to make that evasive move down to the inside. Can he get there? No, he cannot. As now Lyons powers alongside the man for second. That's Brian Chu. Here comes now Lyons going after Cofield. Remember, Jonathan kind of said they're kind of like teammates. When will friends become foes? Here are the late rally closing in on 40 to go. They're on the back straightaway.
I mean, honestly, friends will become foes at any point in time, any way that they can try to help themselves, as they are catching a lap truck. I believe that is Stephen Gregory that they're fixing to blow right by. Yes, it is 61 down on the bottom of the racetrack. Cofield, he gets clear. Will he jump up in front of Lyons? for now, he's going to stay in front of Chew.
Working off of turn number 4, Jonathan Cofield in the lead down to the inside as they thunder down across the start-finish line. Everyone right now, side by side, they do-si-do up the bank and into 1 and 2. Cofield on the bottom, Lyons on the outside. Chew is right there with Peacock. And Newton has got Cinnamon right there as well. Down the back stretch they go, with now Lyons getting a shot to the lead on the outside.
And look over to the right side of your screen. Is that a 27 I see? Yes, it is.
Yes.
That's Luke Smith, folks. He started on the outside of the front row. Have not talked about him all race long. Rode at the back. Let all the chaos happen. He's up here at the front with 40 to go.
Gotta remember, he was caught up in that accident earlier at the end of the first stage, involved in an incident. Look at the 27 now, rumbling back into the top 10. Ross in 10th as well, as it is Lions, the leader. Peacock, Cofield. It's not Lions and Tigers and Bears, oh my. It's these hungry warlords as Peacock goes the second off too.
Peacock trying to see if he can rock and roll. He's going to have Cinnamon right behind him. They're going to get a run. They're going to try to go. Chew gets kicked all the way back to the third truck on the bottom with Adam Newton right behind him. How about this? Number 20, Cole Larson from 39th all the way up to 8th. He's got Chad Ross right behind him and Raul Meza right in front of him as well.
Another big shot right now as they work their way down through the triangle. It is still now Lucas Lyons up in the top spot. Lucas Lyons, the leader. Lyons second. Cofield, and they're flip-flopping these spots again like it's a pendulum of justice going into 2.
We'll see how this ends up working out for all parties. Is nobody wanting to go 3 wide, maybe a little bit of 3 wide back there around the Stephen Thomas area is now Matt Cherry. He's going to bump up to the outside. Karen Chabu's going to rock with him. Bray LaBeouf still out there soldiering on and just hoping that everybody crashes at least before 10 laps to go. Andrew Harrison at 87. Some of these guys multiple laps down, but they're working a plan up on that outside lane.
Working down through the tri-oval. Looking on the inside, it's now Patrick Lyons. Lucas Lyons in the lead. Keep an eye on Lucas, the Warrior Racing Esports entry. Climbed 31 spots to go to the lead now. In second, right there is Peacock. It is now Cofield. It is Cinnamon and Chew, and here comes Matt Cherry on the outside with a big move after getting airborne earlier in 3.
And boy, I'm telling you, I saw it a while ago. He didn't have a whole lot of damage, and he is showing it right now with Kerry Tribune in the 7th, rocking on his tailgate. Brady Buff back there as well, looking 3 wide, coming off turn 4 for the lead.
Look at this amazing racing going on now. 3 wide, front 3 rows, maybe front 4 rows. That's your Dirty Dozen right there, all in the fight as we close in on 35 to go. Inside, it is Lions, and they're not done yet. Cherry up on the outside lane. Here comes that outside formation. That groove starting to work now. It's starting to get into alignment with the rest of the guys as they're still 3 wide going into 3.
Yeah, this would be about the time I'd be back there around the Stephen Thomas area back there in about 20 seconds, just all by myself. And just trying to just let these guys go ahead and wreck at this point. That's what Stephen Thomas's mind is back there, even with Justin White back there. All some of these veterans staying back here in the back. But I'll say this, Wesley, it's a hell of a screenshot right here. If you got a phone, if you're watching it on your phone, your iPad, however you want to do it, it's a perfect shot to put on your wallpaper right there and get you ready for the NASRA 500. Like and subscribe if you love what you see.
That NASRA 500 coming up again February 3rd through the 8th. There's your qualifying races on the 3rd through the 6th. 3 nights, 3 30-lap races. Then the last chance qualifiers. Then the duels. Then the 500-miler. It is not just going to be a 500-mile race. I love it. Dean Hopkins going to be producing. We'll be in the booth for this one. Maybe have some driver guest analysts along the way, Jacob Reeves. But it is going to be really exciting. It's going to be NASRA Speed Weeks, if you will. Yeah, you just don't make the 500.
Yeah, that'll be interesting to see that whole deal right there. I'm actually hearing I was hearing a little bit actually from Brady LaBeouf that he actually wants me to run in one of those duels. And,
wow.
Yeah, we may end up having a little bit of beef out of that because hell, what if I transfer? How am I going to broadcast? I may have to give up my spot. I don't even know, but he wants me to try to get in it one way or another.
Oh, no.
One has kicked off. Peacock up in the air. LaBeouf up in the air. Meza gets caught up. Cherry gets involved. Tribute. The whole field piling in. Going into turn 3, we got another big one.
Another massive crash. Another couple of trucks getting up and over. Airborne. Peacock sideways. I think it was a bad bump draft from Chris Cinnamon. Brady LaBeouf, the birthday boy, got slammed into. Cherry got some damage. So did Kerry Tribune, Raul Meza, and others as they slide down the bottom of the banking. Here's a replay one more time. It looks like a bad bump draft from either the 54 of Cherry on the right or Cinnamon behind the 81. And no, correction. Cinnamon got into the left rear of Cherry. Cherry overcorrected and took out the 81. That's what caused it, Jacob.
Yeah, I'm sitting here looking at it, and really, they actually kind of met right in the middle. Cinnamon came over, and then while he was coming over, Kerry Tribune was actually given a bump draft, was hitting the 54 Cherry and giving him the bump draft, knocked him to the left, and Cinnamon was already coming to the right. They just kind of met in the middle. You see Peacock, he goes over. Brady LaBeouf goes over on his lead. There you see the 27. We was talking about him just a second ago. The 27, Luke Smith, started on the outside of the front row. He gets involved. Literally everybody gets involved except for about the front 5 guys. Cole Larson gets involved. Check it out. There's Adam Newton. He gets involved as well. I mean, that's one of those things. Justin Lumpkin gets involved. Keith Haiti. I mean, yeah, literally everybody at about the top 20, with the exception of the front 5, got involved in it, Weston. That's pretty much how it is.
Tough luck for that man here, and we'll check in also very quickly with Brady LaBeouf. And Brady, first off, as we're on board with you right now, it's not been the kind of birthday race you wanted, but a big happy birthday to you, boss.
Yeah, I mean, I thought because of the way the duels went last week that it'd be a lot better. It'd be a nice race to where we could all get along and ride 3 wide, and really hasn't been the case tonight. So it's kind of, you just, you got to get in the pack to ride around, and you ride around, and they just, I don't know, one move, and next thing you know, the whole field's piled up. So I don't know.
The whole field implodes. I got to ask you this question, though. We heard some talks about a new damage model update on the trucks before this race. Do you feel like that's got a lot to do with why the trucks are easily getting up into the air?
Oh, absolutely. And I was riding behind Morales there, and it seemed like if you're in the middle right there and 3 wide in the middle going through the tri-oval, the trucks get really loose. So there's definitely an aero difference than what we're accustomed to. Right. And also, I mean, we're getting damage. It seems like, I was expecting about 2 minutes of damage, and it's 11 seconds. So, I mean, 11 minutes, I'm sorry. So it's a whole different ball game now. So we'll sit here for about another 10 laps, and then we'll get back out there and try to help our teammates.
That's the thoughts of Mr. Brady LaBeouf. He celebrates a birthday today as well. We'll step away and take a break with the more, with the race closing into 30 to go from the NASRA DSR 250 at Daytona.
Reach up there and pull those belts tight one more time. Drivers, start your engine!
Starbase 1552 Comics. We sell everything a collector would want. Comics, Funkos, action figures, and so many more. A real American comic book shop. We are online only. Starbase 1552 Comics. Find us on eBay Auctions.
The field will be looking for the green flag, and we welcome you back to coverage from Daytona. There is Brady LaBeouf sitting on pit road for at least 10 laps or more. Jacob Reeves, I'm Wesley Outland. Bigglestein Hopton is alongside. Welcome to coverage of the NASRA DSR Electric Truck Series, season number 5, and the NASRA DSR 250. And Jacob, you heard some of the thoughts of the drivers. Just Brady LaBeouf a moment ago. I don't want to say that we're going to have to figure out a way to go back to the drawing board, but maybe iRacing might need to work on this update model, because we're seeing a lot of these trucks flipping, crashing, and it has made it interesting for the fans. Definitely for us. We're ready to see what happens, as it looks like they'll get the 1-to-go indication this time by, and when they come back to the Geico restart zone next time around, it should be a 30-lap shootout. This is the equivalent of what we would see in the duels.
Yes, you're exactly right, because it was right on 30 laps for both of those duels that we saw. And I agree with you 100%. I think maybe they might want to change a little bit of something, to try to get these trucks not to be airborne. I mean, obviously, Chris Sitterman, he was happy about it and obviously bragged about it, because he ain't seen nothing. He's been up front the whole time. But I will say this. I do think they need to keep the damage model the way that it is. Maybe tweak it just a little bit, but I've been in races numerous times, Wesley, where I've been in races and somehow or another you can see somebody hit the wall head on and they only get like 25 seconds of damage, and then they roll back out there and they end up winning the race. So I'm actually happy that this damage model is more realistic than what it has been in the past. So that's something, I'm real cool with, but obviously, up in the air and everything else, if it don't tear your truck up that bad, I'm all for it, because it's like I said earlier, if it was real, drivers can get hurt and all that good stuff, but with virtual and everything else, it makes for some crazy content. So, I agree with you. I think they still need to tweak on it, but I know how iRacing is, and you do, and everybody knows how iRacing is. They work on this every single day, and they always come out with updates. So they'll probably get it fixed here very soon. You're exactly right, and I was going to say that if there is a glitch and they know that they need to fix it, I'm sure that they will announce an update for sure. And they err on the side of listening to people if there definitely is an issue technical-wise. They want to put out a simulation that mimics the real deal. So maybe something like that might be forthcoming before Charlotte on Friday. Nonetheless, we're settling for the restart. It's 30 laps to go. Get your popcorn, get your arm trays in their upright position, and strap in, because it is about to be go time. Look at everybody on the choose rule for the most part. Stick to the inside of the racetrack as we come back to green. 30 to go here in Daytona. And about the top 10, honestly, give or take, probably about 8 of them, maybe 7, started outside of the top 30. Drivers like Brian Chu, who's up here at the front. Keith Haney, we saw him earlier on in the 67. Joey Steyer's up here with James Kaufman. Joshua Suss up here in the 80 truck. Then Robbie Richards, who knows how to get it done in the state of Florida. He's up here. And Brian Kaiser, he was like 2-3 laps down a while ago, Wesley. Now he's up here in the top 10. And Justin White, your pole setter, he's back up here in the mix as well as Chu jumps to the inside. He's going to try to go for the lead. And your man, he said that you think could win this race, Brian Chu. We know the dark horse, the man that definitely knows how to win in super speedways. Powers to the inside. Taylor Peacock, who has right now had a flawless race, lift himself back up after having that incident in the backstretch a moment ago. He sits in second, Cinnamon, and now how about Joey Steyer's in the mix the first time we mentioned his name, as well as Haney, as they work the back straightaway. I mean, I'm telling you, Joey Steyer's could be one of them that could really come up here and get it done here tonight. The number 80, CopShop.com truck up here, Cop Shop truck I should say, in the Toyota. He's up here trying to roll with Joey Stires. Peacock gets clear. He jumps down in front of Chew. Taylor Peacock to the lead here at Daytona, but watch out for Chew to go to the top.
Thundering down through the tri-oval into turn 4, across the line. It is Peacock in the lead. As they rumble their way down into turn 1, it is the 51, Brian Chew, right there in tow. Behind them now, side by side, Bitterman and Stires, Haney, and by the way, Joshua Suss in the other Cops entry has got into the top 5 as they hit the back straightaway.
And a bunch of other drivers up here like Tyler Goodwin. Haven't talked a whole lot about him. Might have got caught up in a couple accidents, just like half the field, or about 3/4 of the field, rather. He's up here inside the top 10. Cole Larson, after that spin, he's up here in this as well. A lot of guys that was at the back at the start of this thing, Wesley, they're up here at the front trying to go for the win.
Thus, a little wiggle, a jiggle, a giggle, a bobble, and a save for the number 80. And he'll stay in that 5th spot now. Hello to Rooster Company. That's a Rooster community. That's my friend, Cody Deemers. Cody Deemers, check it out. From, of course, Elevated Esports down the back straightaway. Peacock and Chew. And you're still starting to see this inside lane be the best lane. But we saw earlier, Jacob, that the second lane and the third lane was going to work, and then we had calamity. We'll see it happen again, maybe?
Very good possibility. I mean, really, this inside lane, Cofield was talking about it. Everybody wanting to try to rock on this inside lane, that outside lane. You get the right people lined up there on the top side that knows what they're doing, this pushing and this shoving. You can really start to move on that outside lane. And then what the leaders got to do to help advance that outside lane is they got to jump to the bottom. But they don't have to do that. If they like it up there on the outside lane, they can control the race from the top side. But from what Cofield and all of them saying, this update might have changed some of that stuff. Some of these guys like it down on the bottom and are able to control the race from the bottom.
When they come to the line this time by, it will be 75 laps down, 3/4 complete, and 25 to go. We're also seeing some trucks pill onto pit road for green flag pit stops. This is something ironic. Maybe these guys didn't pit in time. Brian Kaiser, Stephen Page, Chad Ross, James Kaufman. They might be going for an undercut here, Jacob.
I think that's exactly what these guys are trying to do right here. Kaiser, Page, a bunch of them just coming in for a splash of fuel. They're going to gas up and get out of there. You see Chad Ross, one of those drivers that elected to go down pit road as well. So a number of drivers try to go for this undercut right here, and they're going to gas up. But the problem is there's only 4 of them. There's about 25 of the other ones that's out there in the draft. But when will these guys go down? See what happens right here on 4. We got a bunch of them. Yes, Peacock and a list of others, a host of others, I should say, going down. Scratch that. That was only 2 of them. I thought more went down with them than just the 2 of them.
If you have been playing possum, and I say that very nice and lightly, it is time to show your strengths. It is time to put yourself in line. It is time to get those chess pieces in order to declare checkmate on the rest of the field, because you're in the final home stretch. And Jacob, here's the thing. If you've been at the back, and we've seen a difference of names up in the front and the back, especially in the last 30 laps or so. But if you played possum and you literally survived the chaos, it's time to get to the front. You better go, and you better go now. The clock is ticking.
Yeah, I mean, really, that is exactly what it is. I mean, these guys are getting after it right at 47 seconds a lap, so give or take a little under a minute. So you got about another 30 minutes. It's just about as long as Sanford and Son would be on your television stations, or any 30-minute, any game show, whatever you want to call it. That's how long you got, folks. It ain't that long. Now, the cautions may drag it out, but you don't have a lot of time right here. Guys that's at the back, they need to start moving up through there, start getting going, and try to put themselves in position to try to win the race. Either that or right at the back and hope they all wreck.
because no doubt about it, it is go time. As right now we see them working off of turn 4 down to the start finish line. That is Brian Chu on board with him. He's the leader as they work their way back into 1 and 2 again. Chu, look at now Larson. Remember what happened to the 20 last Monday night, ironically, in the duels, Jacob, in duel 2. A little aggressive coming to the finish, and in doing so, it took the win away from him. He's now worked his way from the rear to the second spot as they work into 3.
And like I said, I mean, that kid right there is going to be something special here in Nazareth if he sticks around long enough, but he's got to go up against some of the big dogs up here. 2 veterans that knows how to get it done. Brian Chu, Joey Stiers up here trying to get it done. Joshua Suss up there in the 80 right there with him. Keith Haiti back here as well as Jason Morales. Jason Morales? Where did he come from? He got caught up in about every wreck from what I saw. Jason Morales up here in the top 10 now.
Remember the bad luck that the 1 had at the start of the race, but now he's fought his way patiently through the ashes, if you will, as the dust settles in to a great position to try to win this thing. Back straightaway. Stiers up on the outside. He's under attack. Couple of teammates for DSR. Will they hold it together as Highline Racing's 1 and 2 going to 3? Or is that actually Chrome Racing, I believe, off 4?
I believe that is Chrome Racing. Actually, no. I believe that is the other team that you was talking about right there with all those guys sick with it. Swim. They're trying to work together. That's what it is right there. That affiliation with Swim and Chrome, all of them working together right here. And you see right now, and that's the best deal right there for Swim right there. They control this race. Literally, they have the front row covered right there. They got the inside, they got the outside. The only thing they got to watch is somebody shoot around the outside of them all the way up top. Here's where your problem's going to be. Everybody on the bottom, only 3 up top. Joey Stiers, Joshua Suss, and Tyler Goodwin.
And somehow they work their way off of 4. Brian Chu definitely trying to methodically hold his line. He's got Stiers, his teammate, right there. And Jacob, how good is that? At least knowing that you get to the late rally of the race, you got your teammate with you. That's got to be a good thing.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what you want when you get right here to the end of this. You want to have those beer buddies that I talk about all the time. You want to have somebody that's around you that you like to have a beer with, or you like to have your teammates with you. Anything like that. Somebody that you can trust. That's who you want to be around here at the end of these super speedways that can help you out. At least until the white flag happens, and then everybody's pretty much game on at that point. But you want to have some help to at least get you to that point.
You get to that last 5 miles, and I think it's everybody for themselves. We're, by the way, under 20 to go. It's the Premier Racing Setups. 20 to go. We'll go side by side to promote Premier Racing Setups. We're so glad to have them on board with Nazareth Road Setups. You name it, they got it on dirt. And, of course, sprint cars, midgets, late models, you name it, modifieds. Same thing for short track on pavement. And, yeah, they've even got you covered in the world of eNASCAR for all the NASCAR levels of even ARCA. One-on-one coaching lessons, iRacing setups, requests and passes, and so much more. Mention Premier Racing Setups and get special setups from top setup builders. And Nazareth, mention them in the checkout. You get 15% off your order, and another 15% goes into Nazareth's pocket. That is Premier Racing Setups as we see more drivers, Jacob. The leaders, they're pulling on the pit road with 18 to go.
Yep, Brian Chu going down as well as Joey Stiers. So teammates with Swim, they go down. You got also Joshua Suss. Number of drivers going down right here for this final pit stop to go ahead and top off and try to get out of there. I think Justin Lumpkin, one of those drivers that went down, as well as Adam Newton. I believe all the Swim boys, they trying to get lined up, trying to get rocking and rolling. I wouldn't be surprised. I think Stephen Thomas, he's still in this bad boy. So all 5 of them trying to work together. They're going to get out there. Watch out for Swim. They know how to get it done here at Daytona.
In the words of Guido from Cars, Pit Stop, and they're coming down to the pit lane. You're seeing them all in their own formation. Can they go to the finish? That's the question. We watch now Tyler Goodwin leading here in Daytona. Jason Morales right behind them. Dane Hagen. Cofield has been he's been the fast man, stage 2 winner. He's the only guy that's right up there with these other guys that we're calling out now that are new ones.
Yeah, absolutely, and we'll see how that ends up working out for Cofield. Robbie Richards up here, as well as Justin White up here. Couple of lap guys sprinkled right here in the mix of this leading snake draft. One driver all the way up to the top of the racetrack, Craig Schroeder, 6 laps down. But Jason Morales getting all over the tailgate, trying to go after old Goodwin. And Schroeder all by himself up on the top. Morales, give Goodwin a shot. Nobody looks like they're going to pit just yet all the way through the field. So for now, the lead pack, everybody staying in that single file formation. When will they pit will be the question.
Hold that line. That's exactly what they've got to do as another lap comes on the board. 15 to go. Truck number 13, Tyler Goodwin in the lead. The pride out of Meshesney Park, Illinois, and the Bolts Poppers. And now a battle by Jason Morales. There's the man from Upland, California, battling for the lead. Going at it with 15 to go. Dane Hagen is right there in the catbird seat, also in third. But we know they got to beat Jacob. It's a question of when.
Yeah, we'll see how that ends up going as they come off forward. Will they make that pit stop? No, not yet. Nobody out of that front guy waving at us up here on the broadcast booth. How about that one right there?
From the Jason Morales camera, back to the corner, 14 to go. It has all come down to this. And Jacob, I love the fact that we're seeing some new names up in the front, right? I mean, you know, you look at the Nazareth Cup Series and you race in it. There's been 10 winners in 10 races, and honestly, we've had times in the past where a driver gets out like a Holden McGill or another name that they dominate, right? They get out, they get in front, they dominate. We want to see the competitiveness. We want to see the juices flowing of seeing how many other great drivers can show their strengths and be at the top level of Nazareth.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you 100% on that one. And, I mean, really, you know, as far as you saying that right there for the Nazareth Cup Series, that kind of, it helps me and it hurts me at the same time. It helps me because it makes me feel like I've got a shot to go out there and win, but it actually hurts me because everybody's just that damn good and they've all got to win before me. So, I mean, I'm kind of in a bad spot either way, but that's what you get. Really, you know, with this series here at Daytona or any series at Daytona, the draft, it is the great equalizer that can put drivers that we don't usually talk about throughout the week, have them up here at the front, running at the front like Tyler Goodwin is, like Dade Hagen is, some of these other drivers that's up here at the front. Roger Diebold that got caught up in a wreck earlier on, they're up here in this lead pack and getting their names called, getting their sponsors shown. It's big for them up here at the front of this pack.
Closing in on 12, making 11 laps to go. Hey, by the way, don't forget, join us next week. Things take a super speedway turn to intermediate racetracks for the upcoming races. Will be, of course, January the 20th at Auto Club Speedway. In 2 weeks, we'll be at Legacy Atlanta Motor Speedway. Those will be your upcoming races for the Season 5 first races of the month of January. 11 laps to go. The leader is still Tyler Goodwin. The question is, can they go the distance? Goodwin, Morales, when do they pit? When do they pit? That's the question. We know they're going to have to. When do you pull out a line? Or maybe, Jacob, they're praying for a caution as we got a battle now. Cofield going after the machine of Hagen for third and 11 to go into one.
Yeah, he basically just hip-checked him and knocked him straight out of the way. Peacock and all these other guys, Roger Diebold, Peacock, Sediment, Kaiser, Kaufman, they will be the leaders after everyone has to make this pit stop. Everybody in this line is going to have to make that pit stop. We're actually hearing that Sediment may have to make that pit stop. I thought he pitted there with Peacock and all those other guys. And the Swimming Chrome guys, they've already made their pit stop. So everybody right here in this lead pack line, they're going to have to make a pit stop right here. So it's going to be with Peacock. Will reassume the lead. It's got to be if Swim can make up that gap of 5 seconds, as here comes some of them guys in that lead pack making their pit stop.
onto pit road. Here they come. Goodwin, Morales almost into the grass with now 10 laps to go. Craig Schroeder crashes on pit road. The 56 machine. Craig Schroeder crashing on pit road in the wrong direction. This will not draw a caution, but he is losing a considerable amount of time as they work the leaders on the back straightaway.
Yeah, and that's unfortunate for Craig Schroeder, as now he will actually, I mean, hell, he spun right there at his pit box, so it kind of worked out for him a little bit if you want to look at it like that. Some drivers actually bail it out back there. As you see, Jonathan Cofield jumps up here. He will reassume the lead. When will that 58 jump down pit road? Brady LaBeouf up here just trying to help out some teammates, helping anybody that he can. Something happened to the one of Jason Morales. Maybe he had a little contact. It might have got knocked around. So we'll see how that works out. Actually, I believe Jason Morales just came off of pit road, I believe. Not real 100% sure. So.
And you got to remember, guys, there is that blend line where you cannot advance your position or pass and climb on the banking until you hit the back straightaway. Nonetheless, Cofield is in the lead. He just took 9 to go. We're in single digits remaining of the race. Brady LaBeouf, the birthday boy, is behind him, and it looks like he's giving him all the push he can for 58 to pull away from Richards and White as they work up the racetrack in 3.
Yeah, I mean, he's trying to shove him up there, and the bad part about it for Cofield is him up there leading this pack. What he is doing is he's actually burning all the fuel. He's actually seeing exactly what I was saying.
Right.
He is going to let LaBeouf try to slide by right here. Hammond, they're going to slide by, as now that's going to open the door for Robbie Richards to jump up here and lead this thing. Cofield going to try to drop back and use the draft, maybe try to save a little bit of fuel somehow, some way. I don't think he can make it with 8 laps to go, though, Wes.
And Richards now to the lead, the man from Gastonia, North Carolina, the NASCAR 360 Racing Network eSport, number 48 Toyota. Robert Richards now to the lead spot. Here it is. There's the pit strategy, by the way, the stint length. Can they stretch it? That's the question. Can you imagine, Jacob, that we're going to see a fuel mileage gamble at a super speedway race to open the year? 7 to go as they work to the Tribal in Daytona.
Yeah, how about that right there? I mean, a fuel mileage gamble. Usually you would see that next week at Auto Club somehow, some way. Usually wouldn't see that here at Daytona. But right now, LaBeouf, who is multiple laps down, Hammond right there in front of him. Robbie Richards is your leader with Justin White right behind him. You got Lucas Lyons, Chris Blanchard, Kerry Tribune, all these guys up here in this lead pack. Cofield actually slid in behind Kerry Tribune, 6th place right now, running as they go into turn number 3. But like I was talking about, all these guys up here, I think they can save all they want to. I don't think it's going to matter. I still think they got to make that pit stop.
And if you look at the track map high above on the top right, you can see that trucks are littered all around the virtual world center of racing, 2.5 mile through the Tribal. 6 laps to go. What a win this would be for Robert Richards. And Jacob, here's something also to think about, dude. You win this race, you get the bragging rights of winning the Daytona, but if you're a full-time guy, you're in the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, that's how you kick off your season right there, and then you don't even have to worry about the rest of the season. You can actually gamble a lot throughout the season and try to gamble for more wins. And you really don't have anything to worry about. I mean, granted, you will lead the points coming out of Daytona. However that mathematically comes out, you should be the leader of the points. So that's another thing that you got going for you to try to win the regular season championship and get more bonus points. So a lot at stake with the win here tonight at Daytona. It can make you the top dog right here in the DSR Electric Truck Series with 5 laps to go.
Settle in, boys and girls. 5 remaining. It's an open hand and a thumb from your flagman, Barney. This is it. Richards in the lead. There's the FC Factory. Canopies, number 48. He's got some traffic up ahead. He's right now that 3rd truck in line that you're watching with the man many laps down, the birthday boy, Brady LaBeouf. There's another truck in front of him as well. Can't really tell you that, is that, it's a number 69. Is that Timothy Hammond? I believe it is. Primer color on the silver aluminum. It's the 10-man truck for Timothy Hammond. And right now, they're just kind of pushing in line. There's the leader behind them. Here comes One driver on pit road.
There's
Harry
you.
Tribune on pit road. 4 to go. 10 miles remaining, Jacob. They're into one.
And one thing about this, the front guys right here, Brady LaBeouf, Tim Hammond, both of them were Mission 1 Esports, affiliated with Nazareth Racing Esports, all that. Brady LaBeouf's teammates, I think that's what these guys are doing right here. You got LaBeouf and you got Hammond up there trying to give draft to Richards. That way Richards is not completely foot on the throttle right here. And that way he can save as much fuel as he possibly can. Justin White, your pole sitter who started on the pole in this race, he is just breathing down Robbie Richards' neck. Richards trying to save all that he can. 3 to go this time by. Nobody going in. Some of them back there in the back with Blanchard going in. So some of these guys is going to try to go the distance.
Yeah, Blanchard's on pit road. So we race on to this one. And the 3 to go now. Ready to strap in for the finish. It's now Robert Richards in front. Can he roll the dice? Last time he pitted was on lap 67. Oh, and by the way, this has been the longest green flag run, Jacob Reeves, of the race as well here down the stretch.
There you see Taylor Peacock right now. He is actually three seconds a lap faster from we're hearing from our producer right here. So maybe he's got a shot to try to catch him. He's 9 back. You know, he's got to make up a lot of time. He may actually be able to get there. They are running 180 miles an hour.
Yeah,
Richards, all these guys, they're running 170. They're 10 mile an hour slower than these guys catching them. They may be able to catch them right here with 2 to go.
An ultimate lap of the race on deck now. 2 remaining here. There's Peacock. There's these drivers. Can they run down that pack? The pack up ahead. You can see them in the view up the banking. Nightfall settles in here. It's under the lights. And remember, if they cannot get back around to the white flag, the race can have unlimited attempts of overtime. There's no longer 3 attempts. It is unlimited this year. Robert Richards worked turn 3. White is about 5. Well, there he is. He's right behind him. One wrong slip of the 48 and the 2 can get him. He's right there as they got lap traffic all around them. Cofield's in the mix as well as they come down to the line. Here's the white flag. 1 more to go. Presented by Darren Snell Gun Repair in Daytona, Jacob.
Well, son, they are actually going to try to make it right here. White flag, and we'll see how this works. LaBeouf trying to see if he can tow his teammate home to the win. 4 seconds back, Taylor Peacock is. I don't think they're going to be able to catch him. Richards, here comes Lyons. Lucas Lyons in the 53. He's going to jump to the outside. Craig Schroeder in the 56 is going to go with him. Lyons trying to steal one here at Daytona going into 3.
Lyons with Schroeder, the lap machine up the push. Here comes Brady LaBeouf now trying to be an anchor as a side wedge between Richards and Lyons. Here they come. Lap traffic, lead lap trucks, all scattering. LaBeouf and Schroeder to the bottom. It is Lyons. Here comes Justin White. Here comes Cofield. They're making contact as they crash. Almost crashing. They hold it together. Lucas Lyons wins here in Daytona. Lucas Lyons is your winner in the Nazareth DSR Electric 250 in Daytona. Started the race all the way in 32nd, and he wins the lid lifter of Season 5 here at the World Center of Racing. Unbelievable.
Unbelievable. Cody Knott's got to be doing backflips right now for the Dragon Racing Esports entry. Lucas Lyons in the 53 gets it done, and I think he is actually out of fuel, trying to get shoved right here by Craig Schroeder, trying to give him the shove and at least get him back to victory lane. I think he is absolutely out of fuel. 53 getting shoved. Lucas Lyons gets it done here tonight. Justin White, Jonathan Cofield, your podium finishers. Robbie Richards had it all the way at the line, all the way through 1 and 2. Lyons shot to the outside, and then after that, it was all she wrote.
And I'll be honest with you, usually you do not see a fuel mileage strategy to determine what happens here in Daytona. And how about this? Dean, show us the last lap one more time, my friend. As we see now, Lucas Lyons is at least going to celebrate first, and we're going to see him celebrate. He's going to burn it down. The Cofield entry. Remember, Jonathan Cofield in stage 2 talked about how Lucas Lyons was working with him, how they were literally in sync with each other, racing with one another. And if you can't win the race, I guess you try to help the guy win on his own. And that's exactly what Jonathan Cofield did. Justin White right there, he was so darn close of winning as well, representing the cops in their 40th anniversary season of the Concerns of Police Survivors. But Lucas Lyons, what a job. He wins here in Daytona. Now let's take a look at the last lap again to set up the victory here. It's presented by the fine folks of DSR Electric. The electric move of the race, the electric finish of the race, Jacob. What happened here to set up the number 53 to victory, sir, because he wasn't leading on the white flag.
No, he was not. There you see LaBeouf. He is actually the lap truck still trying to give the tow to Robbie Richards. And basically they waited till turn 2 to make their move. Everybody kept it in single file formation going through 1 and 2. Here comes Lyons. He tries to muster up a run. He actually caught Justin White maybe sleeping just a little bit right there. Shot around to the outside. And then after that, Schroeder rocked and rolled with him. And then at that point, Lyons has got to put it on the throttle and just hoping that he doesn't run out of fuel. And then after that, everybody starts jumping around. Everybody basically hanging out. Robbie Richards and LaBeouf. Here's where the moves come into play. White jumps to the top side, tries to get rolling up there, and tries to sneak one out. But then he doors into Schroeder. Schroeder's laps down. Screw it. Send it. And then there you see Justin White shoots up to the top, tries to come down side draft, and Cofield just gasses up and tries to get all he can get.
He gave him a push. Cofield, if you watch again, Jacob, you can see where Cofield, I think, just gave that little push to the 53 to help Lucas Lyons hold off the 2. By the way, 4 1,000ths of a second, 9 1,000ths of a second for timing and scoring from the winner Lyons to second and third. Look at this again now, Jacob. Watch the 58. That's for those watching that white truck. The white truck, the 58 now, and look at now, you see Justin White, he had clear room. He had a chance to bonsai and make a move on the outside. Maybe if Jeffrey Johnson was there, he could have helped him a little bit more, but then Cofield got into the left rear of the 2, gave him a little push there. Maybe that air helped the 53 cross the line first, and it's the first ever career win, I believe, also, Jacob Reeves, for the driver Lucas Lyons in Nazareth as well.
Yes, sir, it is. And one of those rookies that we were talking about, Wesley, comes out here and steals one. He's going to be the leader of the points. He ain't got to worry about trying to make it to the playoffs. Good for Lucas Lyons. Was a teammate of mine a little bit when we were running, or in my time before I went to broadcasting for the Xfinity Series. So me and him raced around a little bit in the Xfinity Series. Such a cool dude right there, Lucas Lyons. Getting it done from starting 32nd. How about that? Started at the back. And he gets it done here tonight.
Here's the results of the Nazareth DSR Electric 250 in Daytona. Lucas Lyons is your winner. Justin White will settle for second. Jonathan Cofield third. Then it's going to be Robert Richards, Taylor Peacock, the top 5. Kaufman, Kaiser, Chu, and Newton, another solid top 10 also for Joshua Suss. Joey Stiers, Cole Larson, Keith Haney, Raul Meza, Jason Morales, after the bad luck he had at the beginning to rally back to the top 15 on the lead lap, I'll take that as a victory. The pole man, Luke Smith, will finish 16th. Dane Hagen with a good run for him, and Stephen Page as well, Jacob, the top 18.
Then Chad Ross is going to get 19th. Roger Diebold, who was actually upside down at one point, he ends up finishing in 20th with Cole Hendrickson 21st, Chris Blanchard 22nd. Chris Cinnamon will come home 23rd here tonight. Led a lot up there at the front and got done in on the pit strategy. He will finish 23rd here tonight. Last driver to finish on the lead lap, Tyler Goodwin. He will end up finishing 24th. Kerry Tribune, Cody Knott, Justin Lumpkin, Stephen Thomas, the top 28.
And the rest of the lineup there finishing in 30th or 29th. It is Andrew Harris. He'll finish in the 29th position. Rest of the finishing order of the top 30 will find the driver. That is Jeffrey Johnson, the third. Craig Schroeder, 31st. Timothy Hammond, Stephen Gregory, Brady LaBeouf, the birthday boy, a disappointing run in Daytona, multiple laps down, but he was a factor there at the end. And Matt Cherry finishing 35th. He was somebody to contend with earlier as well. J.D. Larson, Aaron Van Rattle, Phil Pappas, Fred Lester, Adam Newbert, your top 40, along with Shane Trotter and Nate Maurer. The man that got flying through the air from an ARCA break, if you remember, in the highlight reel of what happened earlier here in the DSR 250 at Daytona. Hey, coming up, we're going to grab the thoughts of Lucas Lyons, Justin White, and Jonathan Cofield. I know that the, what do they call them, the Dragon Racing Esports people have got to be ecstatic and tickled to death. And finally, a first-time winner here. It goes to the driver for the Dragon team of Mr. Lucas Lyons. We'll talk to him from Daytona when we come back.
Reach up there and pull those belts tight one more time. Drivers, start your engines!
Starbase 1552 Comics. We sell everything a collector would want. Comics, Funkos, action figures, and so many more. A real American comic book shop. We are online only. Starbase 1552 Comics. Find us on eBay Auctions.
We are back at Daytona. We will not release the conversations we heard during commercial, but we do welcome you back as the NASRA DSR 250 has concluded. It is an ecstatic moment for the Dragon Racing driver of Lucas Lyons. His first career NASRA win is a big win in the Season 5 lid lifter here at the DSR Electric 250. Lucas, man, started 32nd, patiently worked your way to the front. Your take of this race and what's it mean to be a NASRA winner?
I don't know what to do with my hands, man. I'm gonna be honest. Like, I didn't think I'd be able to do it. You know, I run in the Tuesday series. I get wrecked out almost every single night over there. And I come over here. I'm just like, you know what? I'm gonna do something different, and I'm just gonna try to go to the front as fast as I can. And surprisingly, it worked.
And Lucas, you know, I will ask you this right here. It's not going to be like we said in the green room, but, you know, in all seriousness, I mean, you're racing with Dragon Racing Esports, and Cofield's over there racing, you know, for Highlight Racing. So, you know, I said it earlier, you know, because both of y'all race so much together. Both of y'all are teammates a lot of times. But both of y'all work together a lot, and both of y'all were in different Discords. Is that just something that's like chemistry that both of y'all have with the super speedways, to just know when somebody's going to go in a certain situation and not even have to worry about talking to them? Is it just that chemistry?
Yeah, I mean, you can ask Cofield. I would like to say it is, because there was one point I got up behind him and a spot opened up in the middle, and he just took it because he knows if he wasn't going to take it, more than likely I probably would have. So I mean, I always enjoy pushing Cofield, and even though he's on a different team, I feel like he understands what I like to do as a pusher because I like pushing a lot more than actually leading. So it's nice to be racing with someone I've raced with probably, I don't know, 3 years within the same league. Just to know I have somebody with me at all times, no matter what situation I'm in.
I'll tell you what, Lucas, with this win, you're in the playoffs, and obviously, they always say that first win is special, but definitely it opens the door for more momentum to come. What's your take of what you can do this year, and how does it feel like no matter what happens, at least till, the rest of the schedule? I know we got an Auto Club, Atlanta, Indianapolis coming up, but when we move into the month of May, I know it's a long way ahead, but it really isn't. You're in the All-Star, you're in the playoffs. What does that mean to you?
It actually means a lot, I like truck beds a lot more than Xfinity cars, so it makes it's very bittersweet, I guess you would say. It lets me know that I still have the ability to come out here and win. And especially it being my rookie season, I kind of hope that the momentum just keeps building and building as the weeks go on, and I get to race with these guys a lot more. And hopefully Cofield isn't too mad for me being on a different team. And hopefully me and him have a lot more side-by-side racing. Same goes to everybody else who races in here. It's been a lot of fun.
Well, I'm sure we'll get his thoughts on Cofield and the subject in a moment, but I will tell you, we spoke with him at Winning Stage 2, and he said that he had mad props for you racing with him and you helping him push him to the front and vice versa. So I don't think there's any animosity whatsoever, man. Congratulations. Thank your sponsors, and we'll see you next week at Auto Club as the first winner for Season 5 after getting Daytona.
First off, I'd like to thank Dragon, especially Craig, for helping me there at the end. Bo for giving me his number and becoming the first driver to win on Dragon. Bo, I was told to say that. I
Tiffany.
didn't want to say it. Yeah. I want to thank Top Tier, Coldfield Asphalt Refinishing, Southeast Tutoring, Honor Home Loan, Scotty Oliver Racing, Cops, DSR Electric, Nazra, and just SM Racing Products. Use code BANDITS1 at checkout and save a little bit. And all the sponsors over here and all the drivers. I mean, I'd like to say we put on a pretty dang good race. I don't know how y'all feel about cuss words, so I said dang. But, I mean, especially the broadcast. You all always do a great job, especially the redneck announcer. I mean, some people know how I feel about them and stuff like that. And Wesley and Dean, you all always do a great job, and you all always compliment each other and stuff like that.
We got beef!
We do got beef. But
it takes a village, as Brady says. It takes a village, and we're glad that you're a part of it on the driver's side. Ladies and gentlemen, Lucas Lyons. He is the winner for Dragon Racing Esports. As the winner in his rookie season, he wins here his first career NASRA race at Daytona. Let's talk to Justin White. He'll finish second. Justin, you kind of know a little. My bad. I'm back now. Justin, you know a little bit about what Lucas Lyons was saying there, getting your first win ever in NASRA, and obviously the finish was very interesting. Definitely a wild race. Don't want to take that away. I know you're a part of some wild moments, but when it's all said and done, as everybody, you can see him on camera as well, you'll settle for second. You're taking Daytona, Justin.
Yeah, started off and took the pole right off the bat. Come firing out of the gate with a new team. We switched over from swim to NASRA Esports. So we switched over to a new team, took the pole out of the gate, come out third in stage 1, and then stage 2 got kind of shuffled back. Decided to ride around, and once we hit that last pit stop, I knew that if we had another caution, I was good to go. I didn't know if we had enough to make it. I was confident that we did.
Right.
So I started saving fuel right off the bat. Luckily, we had Brady and Tim up there helping us save fuel, a little bit of team strat. And I made the move a little too late. I think if I would have pulled out in front of Lucas, it would have been me instead of Lucas. But hey, a P2 at Daytona to start the season with 42 drivers in the field. I mean, we'll take that to the bank every day.
Absolutely, Justin. And, one thing about that, you were talking about going from swim over to Mission One Esports and, getting that camaraderie. Obviously, I was in that situation last season, ran with them for 2 seasons, Nazareth Esports, rather. But, do you feel like, because, I've watched you numerous times at Super Speedways, and it seems like, don't have beef with me on this or nothing, but it seems like you just got bad luck sometimes, when you come to some of these super speedways. And Mission One, usually they're up there at the front. Do you credit that to the Mission One guys and the Nazareth Esports guys coming out here and being able to get this second place finish?
Yes, we're going to take that from the Keith Bradley book. If you're up front, it's hard to wreck, and he's not wrong. So if you just ram yourself to the front and stay up there, it's very, very slim chance of being run over, hitting a door, whatever. If you run up front, you're going to be there, and you're not going to be in the garbage in the back with all the squirrels. So,
Justin, I got to ask you this question, man. I want to get your thoughts on this because we know you operate the NASCAR Cup Series, and you have done a stellar job, obviously, as the playoffs are quickly approaching, but you've had some moments where you've been pretty frustrated with the NASCAR trucks or the other leagues. What's your take of the way things were handled tonight with the way the race was?
These last few weeks, NASCAR has been putting on some of the best racing that the service will ever see. 3x3 for the duels for over 50% of the race with 76.4 or something percent. I went and did the math. 2x2 and 1 caution. That was for 80 laps. I mean, how much better can you get? And then we went 3x3 here for most of this, for good majority of this race, 2x2, and then it all comes down to a fuel strategy at the end. I mean, if you can't ask for anything better. If you're wanting more excitement than this, then you've got to go do real racing. But for simulation racing, this is the top echelons of it.
Check your pulse at the door, no doubt about it. Justin, Thanks for your time, man. Before we let you go, please thank your sponsors. We'll see you next week at Auto Club.
Yep, I want to thank Cops. I appreciate them coming on board and sponsoring us again. I love what their whole organization, what they're doing. I've got Scottish Highland Games coming up. I'll be sporting their T-shirt and the law enforcement kilt when I do the Scottish Highland Games. I'm all over the Southeast. Look me up. You'll find me in one of these games of some form or fashion. I want to thank my team, Brady, Tim, Robbie, Jeff, all those guys for, getting us up, putting us up front and helping us throughout the night. And then I want to thank one of the organizations I'm another part of called helpformen.com. Go check them out. It's a group of brotherhood that we help each other get through this thing called life without a book, because nobody's handed a manual that's in the back pocket. So
that's awesome.
We're all just figuring this out. And the last sponsor shout out is Grinds. GetGrinds.com. They'll help you kick the chewing tobacco habit. I kicked it over 15 years ago. I still use them today. They are top notch, and they have all kinds of flavors: mint, chocolate, bourbon, whiskey, you name it. Great stuff.
There you go. Well, the man out of Scotland, Tennessee for DSR, the NASCAR Racing Esports #2. He'll finish second, as he always gives his Surf's Up dude, as I always do as well. That is Justin White. Let's grab the man that finishes in third place. All right, now, Jonathan Cofield. Lucas Lyons was kind of wondering what you were going to say on the subject of him being a part of a new team. Obviously, you were in the hunt to try to win this thing. You'll settle for third. Your take of the race, sir.
Yeah, it's a good race. We've had a couple of, we got Lucas in here. We had Peyton Hubbard in here. I've got a couple of teammates I've tried to get over here and race with us. We've been to several funny leagues and just got crapped on. Stuff wasn't run right. Just a lot of bad experiences. And, I jumped in last season, last minute, run a few races, and I really like the way Brady runs this league. So trying to get enough of my guys over here to start a team, but ended up not having a lot of interest. So, yeah, I ended up on Highline, and Peyton, he's moving now. He was going to race full season, the full season, but and Lucas ended up on another team. So it's just how it wound out. I know how to run with Lucas. Right there, that last pit stop, he sent me a message. He's like, "Did we pit and get some fuel?" I was like, "Yeah, man. See if we can make this thing to the end."
And Jonathan, you were talking about, Lucas was talking about it rather, y'all been racing for 3 years and, you've been around him and raced and everything else. Hey, you watch Lucas get up there, get the win. Lucas is ecstatic about it, but I want to get your thoughts on it. Granted, you got third tonight, you got the podium, and it's a good start to the season and everything. But what was your reaction when you saw Lucas get up there, make the move, and then try to go for the win?
Oh yeah, man, I fully support Lucas. Like he said, we've been racing 3 years. He's a dang good driver. When we first met, he'd burn the tires up real quick. He's learned how to kind of settle that down and learn how to kind of make a full run out of it. We help each other as much as we can over at Bandits Motorsports, my other team that I own. But yeah, real proud of it anytime Lucas does good, man. He's like your other son, man. He's kind of like helping raise him. Anytime you see him do good, you want to cheer him on. But yeah, man, it was I told him, I said, it's a whole lot different ball game over here, man. There's a lot tougher drivers than we've ever raced against. So, I bet Lucas is ecstatic. Anytime you do good against this crowd, it really gets you pumped up.
I'll tell you what, though, Jonathan, you look really, really optimistic to having a big, big season yourself. Can you let us know, what's in store for you and obviously Auto Club, Atlanta, Indianapolis, tracks in the passage you've ran out in past NASRA competition that you've done fairly well statistically on stats where you can get a good finish? Do you feel like this could be a year for you to make a run for a championship with Highline Racing?
I'm gonna give it my best shot now that I don't have Colin Weatherholt to follow around every weekend, chase that rabbit. But yeah, we're gonna give it our best shot.
I love it.
I know there's a lot of new guys in this league. Daytona really don't show you what their potential is. So I'm pretty excited to go to these next few tracks and see what everybody's got. Bring it on.
All right, bud. Before I let you go, thank your sponsors.
Yeah, I want to thank everybody at NASRA. Everybody that has anything to do with it. Y'all do an awesome job over here. Dean, redneck announcer, Wesley Outland. I know they're having a lot of headache with putting on the big show in a couple weeks. Going to try to make that race. All my sponsors, Cofield Asphalt Refinishing on the truck, Cofield Supply and Service, SM Racing Products. If you ain't got a button box, go check those guys out. Put in Bandits One, save you a little money. All my teammates over at Highline, appreciate them guys letting me come over here and race. Got a good group over there. Hopefully we can go for a team championship also this year.
There you go. There's the thoughts of the man out of Mumford, Alabama. He is a Auburn fan, War Eagle. Hey, by the way, did you know that Auburn is possibly going to be #1 in the nation for basketball?
Hey, man.
Got to be #1 in something. Not in football, but they got to be possibly in basketball. So, yeah.
Yeah, just wait till the end of the season. They'll fall on their face like always.
That's how I feel about my Steelers, and same thing for Alabama this year. So, yep. Jonathan Cofield, ladies and gentlemen, will finish in the 3rd position. Hey, listen, he just talked about the NASRA 500 presented by Glass Mechanic. We are going to preview that real quickly. We'll take a break. When we come back, we will give our final closing thoughts here from Daytona as Lucas Lyons is a first-time winner here in the DSR 250. Back to close it up at the Virtual World Center of Racing next.
Reach up there and pull those belts tight one more time. Drivers, start your engine!
Would you have thought that a race that had several multi-car accidents would have been determined with about a 40-lap green flag run to the checkered flag and a fuel mileage gamble to determine the boot. Lucas Lyons winning here in Daytona. He punches himself in to the Season 5 playoffs as well for the NASRA DSR Electric Truck Series. Goodbye, Daytona. We set our sights on Auto Club next Monday night. Atlanta in 2 weeks. Indy in 3 weeks. Jacob, your take of the lid lifter for the season, my friend.
I mean, it's typical Daytona, Wesley. Everybody at home, I mean, it was an absolute blast. Love coming back here, broadcasting or racing here at Daytona. I was talking about this, with Daytona. You see some guys up at the front that you don't normally see. I mean, James Kaufman up there, one of those guys. He finished 6th. After starting 37th. Brian Kaiser, he went multiple laps down at one point. He comes up there, and out of nowhere, he gets 7th out of that all deal as well. So, and obviously Lucas Lyons as well. I mean, hell, he started outside the top 30 as well, and he gets up there and gets the win. So that's what we see out of super speedways. We see that numerous times, with guys that we don't normally see. But I will say this, that boy right there, Lucas Lyons, that won this bad boy tonight, he's good at other tracks. So, those other guys, everybody might just be sitting there thinking, it's just a one-off. It's just a one-off. You might want to check your stats, folks. That guy in that 53, he is good at super speedways. He's good at 1.5 mile short tracks. He could be a threat. I'll call it right now. I wouldn't be surprised to see that 53 in the Championship 6 running for a championship in May.
Well, the pride out of Owensboro, Kentucky got his first ever NASRA win. And Jacob, you know what it means to get your first ever NASRA win, especially with the amazing competition that is in the world of NASRA. And I say this, I've worked a lot of races in the iRacing spectrum of things. You know that. But I have to tell you, NASRA to me is like NASCAR. The creme de la creme, the best of the best, besides what is the crazy, overrated, too much money eNASCAR program has become. These guys put their heart and their soul into the world of NASRA like we see year in, year out. And obviously, when you finally break through and you get that first career win, it is absolutely special.
Yeah, I mean, it is special. I mean, it's special when it comes at your home track like Atlanta, which was awesome for me as well. But, that first win, and I'll tell it to Lucas probably here in about 5 weeks, probably when I get him on the door banging download. That will stick with you, and you will always remember the feeling of getting that very first win, what you did, how you did it, how you got yourself in that particular situation. You'll remember every bit of that. And, and once again, I agree with you on that, and I agree with what Justin White said. Everything that's been going on with NASRA, all the stuff that's been going on, it's been putting on some of the best racing. And, granted, folks, if you haven't yet, like and subscribe, NASRA 360 Racing Network.
Yes,
It's getting bigger. It's getting a whole lot bigger. According to, I guess you could say, the E-Series, the E-NASCAR Series, we're the underdog. Well, I got to tell you right now, the underdog is putting a whooping on the pro guys. These is the pros right here, and it's a blessing to come out here 3 nights a week, do some broadcasting with you and Dean, and obviously get to race a little bit on Wednesday nights as well. This league, NASRA, and everything else, it's top-notch. It beats all of them.
Dean Hopton, Pip Cheerio, my friend. I know you've been kind of a silent partner tonight, but we know you chime in as well sometimes, man. Your take of tonight's race in Daytona. What a great race it was, sir.
Oh, yeah, absolutely fantastic. Yep, Daytona. I'm just all we're going to hear about is Daytona, because I did a Daytona earlier. That's the road course, of course. That's the 24-hour Daytona that's coming up this weekend. Of course, we got the Daytona.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Next month. Yeah, it's just nothing but Daytona. I'm actually, by the time we get to the big Daytona 500 course here on the NASRA Network, I'm going to be exhausted of Daytona, mate. But, it's great. It's a great track. It always produces great racing. 3 wide racing you saw there. A couple of big wrecks up the front there. Cars flipping all over the place, man. It was flipping fun to watch. There you go, gentlemen. Back to you.
Poor Dean is going to be Daytona pooped before it's over with. No doubt about it. So, ladies and gentlemen, as we forementioned, that's going to wrap it up. You see the final results. As always, we are getting ready for now the season after Daytona. We move into the regular season, as many say, just like in the real NASCAR world as well. This race will move to next week. We will be January the 20th at Auto Club Speedway for the race. Atlanta Motor Speedway, Indianapolis, the next 3 races. And again, that is all that's coming up here. Remember also, we will be taking off on that February the 3rd through the 8th to get you prepared for the big one. If you want to put the flyer up one more time, the NASRA 500 presented by Glass Mechanic, the Great American Sim Race. 43 drivers after 3 qualifying night races, the last chance races, and then the duels will make it in to the 500-mile, 200-lap race. That is the Great American Sim Race, the NASRA 500, presented by Glass Mechanic. All of those sponsors on the bottom. Make sure. It sounds like Jacob Reeves is going to try to make the field if he can. He better not play hooky on me and not be in the broadcast booth. It'll be a fun one. Make sure you make your plans to join us for it. Dean Hopton's going to do it too. Dean's going to do it.
It's just turning
You'll be
left.
doing it with a
How
keyboard.
hard could it be? I'll do it on the keyboard anyway.
Teach me how to press the buttons. That's all I'm going to tell you guys. That's all
No,
I'm
I'm going to write
so.
an AI bot to drive for me, so nobody's going to know that. Shh, don't tell anybody. We'll keep that
there
one
you
quiet.
go.
Yeah,
Hey,
AI
guys,
bot's going
funny
to push
thing-
the keys for me.
No, listen, funny thing. I did a race over the weekend. I did an AI New Year's Bash with my friends at Elevated Esports TV. And believe it or not, they had a surprise for me, Jacob. They put my name on a race car. They created a esports race car of me. And I was like, holy camole. I've never seen anything like that since Ryan Underwood did one in a modified back in the day for, I think it was NASRA, I believe it was. So, man, it's been fun. It was a good one. We'll see what Dean and his AI car can do in Daytona. Jacob Reeves as well. Hey, that's how you can follow us on the world of X on social media. And Dean, your final take of things, or Jacob Reeves, your final take of things, buddy. Always a privilege, pleasure to work with you, man. And we had fun. It's going to be a fun season.
Well, I'll say this, Wesley. You know, it's going to be a fun season, and great to be up here in the broadcast booth with you, and obviously with Dean Hopton as well, the Australian. I mean,
sir.
we saw fireworks right there at the end. How they do it for the night races here at Daytona, shooting off the fireworks and everything, and the whole race was fireworks from start to finish. Big ones. You had, basically, I guess if you want to put it this way, an upset winner coming out and getting it done with Lucas Lyons in his rookie season, comes out and gets his very first win of his very first start. And one thing about it, I talked about fireworks all the way to May, baby. I got a feeling it's going to be fireworks. It's going to be fireworks at Auto Club, Atlanta, Andy, you name it, all the way to May when we crown us a champion here for Season 5 for the DSR Electric Truck Series. And I'm ready to get all the way to it. I'm ready to ride the train, baby, and I hope every one of you out there in the live chat is as well.
Well, in the background there, you see the field coming to the line to the checkered flag. When it's all said and done, it is Lucas Lyons winning his first career NASRA win at the DSR 250 at Daytona. More details is at NASRA-racing.com. Don't forget, this is only the start of a week ahead of broadcasting. Tomorrow night, join Jacob, myself, and Dean for coverage of the NASRA Blanchard's Tow and Xfinity Series playoffs. They'll be at Darlington Raceway, the Lady in Black. Wednesday night, we're at Iowa Speedway in the virtual cornfields for the big race with the NASRA Cup Series and the Concerns of Police Survivors 175. And don't forget, the championship will be decided with the pyro and the fireworks and the champagne and more for the Season 9 NASRA Cops Truck Series, as the NASRA Championship 225 will be this Friday night at Charlotte Motor Speedway, and we'll be in the booth for all of that action. Remember, go online to NASRA-racing.com if you'd like to be a part of the North American Sim Racing Association. For race director TJ Moore, for Cody Nunn and Brady LaBeouf, big happy birthday to the boss Brady. They're behind NASRA. For Dean Hopton, the redneck announcer Jacob Reeves, I'm Wesley Outland. Congratulations again to Lucas Lyons, winner here at Daytona. He's going to the playoffs. He wins his first career NASRA race in a Daytona event we'll never forget, setting the stage for February's events here at the virtual World Center of Racing and the NASRA 500. Be good, and thanks for watching.